everybody. Welcome back with that. Let's set the tone. Hard transition into the video.
Hard.
Very hard. Very, very hard. Well, hope everybody's having a fantastic Saturday. And once again, the weekend is here. It's been another long work week, and just looking to enjoy myself as well too, and clearly have a guest on once again as well too. So, just to jump right into it, this is Panik, Paul Panik of Panik Games.
Right.
I've been calling him Pivity on and off for years as well too.
Right, yeah, I think you're the only one that does.
I'm probably still the only one that does now.
Yeah.
I think that was originally Fuji that came up with that.
Probably, yeah, he probably did.
Yep. King Panic sometimes, maybe?
Panic King.
Panic King.
Because it's a play on words, panicking.
Oh, god damn it.
Yeah, so yeah, somebody in my chat one day like said, "Oh, you must be the Panic King," like, as make fun of me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm gonna run with it. I'm gonna get a crown. I'm gonna have like channel points where you can summon the Panic King. Yeah, so
I'm already learning something. I'm already learning something. So that's awesome. And then or AKA Fred Funk.
So man, I forgot about Fred Funk. Yes,
nobody forgets about Fred Funk. Let's be real here.
I have VHS tapes with Fred Funk in my basement. So.
Yeah. VHS is something we're definitely gonna talk about a little bit today.
Okay.
Cool. So hey, clearly, I know what you do, who you are. But tell everybody a little bit about, I guess, deeper what you do.
Okay.
Maybe if you want, who you are. That's open-ended, however you want to do that.
Yeah, for sure. So primarily I do board game content, whether it's live plays, social media horror for publishers. I'm not a reviewer, so I like to just get the word out about games, new games, and show off game content and play, so people can kind of make up their own mind about if they would like the game or not. Because if you're in the board gaming hobby, there's a point where you kind of know what you like, and so it's better just to see how it plays. So that's primarily what I do, but primarily on Twitch, but I'd also have YouTube, I have TikTok, I have all the socials.
Speaking of which,
hit 1,000 on TikTok last year, so I've so occasionally do live streams from TikTok from my phone. Like when I was at Gen Con a couple weeks ago, I did a TikTok live from there. But
I do remember that now. Yeah,
so that's primarily what I do. Just try to get the word out about the great thing that is board gaming.
Yeah. And so I just actually put your link out there for Twitch. Does your Twitch have did I say link tree?
It probably link does, or it has all the links to my socials.
That's what I didn't even think. I could have been better about that. I'm an awful host and didn't get all the socials out there, but I did get at least the Twitch out there as well too. So check out that Twitch for all the information, and I'll make sure in post, as always, if you're listening to this after, you'll find all the links in there for them as well too, so you can check them out everywhere as well too. Do you do Linktree or anything like that?
Yeah, if you go to my X, my Linktree is on there.
Okay.
So it might be on my Twitch page too. If not, all the links for all my social medias are on there. But
good. Easy.
Yeah, so you can find me. It's Panic Games pretty much anywhere. So if you plug in Panic Games into TikTok, Threads, all of those, so you'll find me.
Right on.
I'm on pretty much all of them.
Good. Okay. Right on. And that link tree, I got to tell you, that was like a lifesaver.
Oh yeah.
It feels like long ago when I first started streaming, there wasn't anything like that, and if there was, I didn't realize it. And then Linktree came out. I'm like, this is brilliant. I'm just adding all kinds of dumb links that don't matter to mine. Just check out this sweet video I saw.
What worked out really nice for me is I had business cards made up for my thing, and so I have a QR code that just links right to my link tree.
Yeah.
So that's nice. I can just give a publisher, hey, I do content here.
Makes it easy.
Yeah. Check out my links.
It's brilliant. My QRs and links. His massive link.
My massive link.
It's
followers.
Biggest link I've ever seen. I'll be honest with you.
Thanks.
So you do tabletop content. You do a little bit of everything, but it's mostly board game, or LCD, TCG, that sort of thing.
I don't get into the LCG, CCG stuff because I'm very cheap. And any of that stuff is super.
You got to be careful.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah.
Like CCGs especially.
Yeah.
Is
because you're looking at packs.
Yeah, and you're building decks and you're chasing rares and that's not my thing. I like a box that just gives me every content that I need. Maybe I buy an expansion for a game or something.
Sure.
But pretty much I want the whole experience right there in the box.
Right.
So.
Right. I think I'm definitely somebody who really likes the LCGs. Sometimes I'll buy an expansion, but I love I love deck building.
Yeah,
So
that's
even
cool.
it doesn't have to be like a CCG like Magic or something crazy
Right,
or
yeah.
anything like that, or is that TCG? I always get this.
No, CCGs are like Magic
Okay.
and One Piece and
Okay, and all that.
Lorcana, and there's a bunch of
I
them.
mean, yeah,
but-
I did Legends of the Five Rings for years.
Oh,
I
yeah,
I was
okay.
huge into that, but no, I just love the deck buildings, like the LCGs. Like I got Call of Cthulhu around here. I think
I
might
was
have an
wondering if you had
expansion.
that one because that's like the big
That's like
LCG
the,
Lightning card game. Yeah.
See right next to Ticket to Ride.
Oh, yep. Okay.
And then yeah, so that like I love that game. Like it's a great game, but board games in general are great. So it's just nice to see somebody out there doing that as well too. And you're actually right now, so in your travels and the things you've been doing, you've actually been able to partner with folks, and right now you are doing a charity. Talk about that.
Well, yes, I am. So each month I'm doing giveaways. So sponsored by publishers of board games. So this month happens to be Lucky Duck Games. They also do video games, but they do a lot of board game stuff. So right now, the first prize, if you donate $20 to my Extra Life campaign, which is a charity that there's the link.
Links right there.
And it benefits Hurley's Children's Hospital. Basically, Extra Life does, if you don't know what it is, it benefits Children's Hospital in your area. You get to pick which one you support.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's usually the closest one. You just pick it, and then the money goes directly to them. Right now, we're at like $580 for the year. So if you want to get in on the giveaway, you just have to. So this is U.S. only, just so you know. $20 gets you into a drawing for there's these two prizes. So one is for a game called Kingdom Rush Elemental Uprising, which I guess was a mobile game at one time, or it was a video game too. So, and then there's another one called Divinus. That's what's called a legacy game, where the game kind of like you're playing different gods, and you're like it progresses, and there's like stickers and stuff that change dice faces and like all this kind of shit. So, but yeah, if you get in the $20, each additional $20 gets you more entries into the drawing. So just gives you better chances of winning.
Right.
And I'm doing those every month. I will say I haven't announced next month's yet, but I will at the end of the month here, and then do a drawing for whoever wins for this month. So
cool.
I have said that October is sponsored by a company called Trick or Treat Studios.
Ooh.
So they haven't said exactly what they're gonna give me, but I'm hoping for the House of a Thousand Corpses possibly board game, or they do Chucky. They've got like Halloween the board game. They've got all kinds of stuff. So there's gonna be some cool shit coming in October.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah,
that's pretty exciting. And how many drawings have you done so far?
So this started in May. So yeah, basically I had maybe like one donation going into May. So we've raised over $500 since May.
Wow.
And shooting for 1,000. The goal was 500 and we went past that. And so we're shooting for 1,000 by the end of the year. So
awesome. How many winners so far?
Oh, that's a good question. So there would have been. So last month, somebody donated like a boatload of money because they really liked the games that were up. So it was only 2 winners. And actually, Tone was a winner. And I brought the game that he won. He won Patriot, the deluxe version from Grand Gamers Guild, they're out of Grand Rapids, Michigan.
That's awesome, out of Grand Rapids even too.
Yeah, they're a local, so I actually drove the Grand Rapids just to save them some shipping costs. And they just like handed me a box and they just started filling it with games. And like, sweet. All right, so one person won the 2 prizes, and I have a thing set up where if I raise over $200 in the month, I add a 3rd prize.
Cool.
So it went over $200 last year, so you won the third.
I won something.
Yes.
Look at this. There's play mats and everything. There's 4 play mats, right?
Yep. Yeah, individual play mats.
Patriot. Talk a little bit about what this game is.
So what this is somebody's playing as the president. And there's traders. It'll be decided at the beginning of the game who the traders are, and they're trying to get the mechanics is they're trying to survive basically. The president. There's people trying to protect the president. There's people trying to kill the president.
Right.
But then there's other things that are happening in the society. So it's kind of utopia. I don't know. What do you want to call it? Like a future, a crappy future, basically.
Right.
And
One
so
big government.
Yeah, so there's like riots and stuff you got to put down, and maybe some of the people that don't want things to succeed are like messing with that. So we did a 2-player playthrough on my YouTube But I think it shines more with like more players. So
It seems like
it's
that.
built. There's 2-player rules, but really it's built for like multiple players.
Right,
So
right. Some games just don't. Some games you can play 2-player. I feel like, and I have, and it just does. It never feels right. Like,
yeah.
Is Catan like something you can play 2-player?
I think yeah, Catan's not bad. That one's okay.
But like trying to play like two or three just isn't enough. Like you gotta have that, almost have that fourth of that sweet spot sometimes.
Right. Sometimes like with 2-player, they have to put in a dummy player or an AI type player or something. Yeah. So it's, yeah.
Yeah, no fun. Well, that's cool. I appreciate that. Well, that's awesome. So you guys could win a massive game like this potentially if you're in the U.S. and you donate to the Extra Life charity that he's doing there. So make sure to do that. Thank you for bringing that. I was excited. I'm like, when you said I won, I'm like, dude, bring it over when you're gonna.
Right. Yeah. That worked out perfect.
Yeah. So I'm gonna set this back here because we need the room for later as well too.
Yes.
But of course, I'm over here. So there's a stack of games he brought, and I'm really excited to kind of peep some of these as well too, because that one right there you see up in the corner is a Cthulhu game too, and I'll probably having questions about.
I knew you had love for Lovecraft. So,
lots of love.
So I brought a few things that I kind of tailored it to
good,
what
sweet.
you would probably like.
Sweet.
So,
well,
and that's the nice thing about board games, like different IPs and different things. There's basically a game for everybody.
There is. And I've always said, and I still say this, and I've been saying it for years. Like, I feel like the big board game boom kind of changed for me. That got me into board games around 2011, somewhere in there when we first started really hitting up Gen Con.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I was like blown away that board games were literally. I had such a dumb thing to even sound like, because I was such a big video gamer at that point. I was like, these are literally like video games now in a way.
Kind of, yeah.
I mean, it's wild how everything, and there's so much different stuff. Like
there's app-driven games now that like requires an app.
Yeah,
to play.
I actually got a couple. Yeah, that's wild. So, but regardless, I mean, most of the time, I'd say I would rather, if I had the people around, I'd rather play a board game than I would a video game.
Yeah, I think it's a nice communal activity that you can kind of, and then kind of the way our society is that we don't commune as much, and it's nice to have a dedicated thing that you're going to sit around a table, dedicate a couple hours, maybe an hour, and just like interact. So whether it's cooperative where you're trying to work together and try to beat something, or you're competing against each other, it's pretty nice.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great way of looking at it too. It's like one of the few things that we have that can thread that togetherness and like actually be together. I mean, our parents all grew up playing like fucking euchre around here,
Pinochle,
or
euchre,
poker. And I don't fucking like face card games. I've never learned to play poker. I don't care about any of this shit. We played so much euchre, I just don't like playing it. Growing up around here when you're in Michigan or Midwest.
Yes, we definitely played. The nice thing though, now there was kind of a little renaissance in the last couple of years of like trick taking games, but with different rule sets.
That's cool.
So there's one that's called I can't remember. I'll have to think about what it's called. But there's one where you're cooperatively trying to complete tricks and without communicating. With minimal communication.
That's funny.
So yeah.
Far gone are those days of Pictionary, I guess. But I still love some Pictionary. I really do. So, well, awesome. So yeah, if you guys get a chance,
thank you. Yes, that's what it was.
Thank you, Ann.
Yeah, thank you very much.
That's one of your peeps.
Yep.
So we might see a few of your peeps. So
appreciate
you stopping in here. So hopefully you learned something about Panik today as well too. So let's jump in a little bit.
Yes.
Don't sweat.
The secrets.
Don't sweat too much.
You didn't listen to the pre-show. That was where the real
I know we were getting
real meat was.
Yeah, it's true. I wish I was recording that. I definitely was trying to. I definitely record for or go live for a hot minute there. But so you and I've known you. I think I want to say I was trying to zero in on the year, but I feel like I graduated in '98.
Okay.
And that's when I first met Eric. He ended up started working at McDonald's because he's cousins with Holly.
Right. Yep.
And I already worked with Holly, knew Holly. Me and her got hired same day. We started saying everything.
Oh, okay.
So I've known her for a long time. Super big fan of her as well, too. She was always great. Cool. We used to have a lot of fun back in the day. And then Eric comes in, and he's like literally the exact same person that I am. Like just a
Yeah,
wise
man.
guy,
He's so-
nonstop mouth, like just
Such a creative mind.
yeah,
like,
very very creative,
and
like
quick-witted, and
yeah. So we instantly just hit it off, and I don't know. I'm trying to remember how it was that I actually met you, and I don't know if it was through him
Yeah.
or if it was through Holly. I was pretty
It was
sure.
pretty
him.
Eric. It was pretty sure because Eric and I, because I graduated in '95, so that was probably my college years. And then Eric and I were hanging out throughout the summer because I didn't do anything during the
Right.
summer, maybe work a little bit.
Right.
But yeah, I think when we were having like parties out at my mom's house and stuff, I think that's probably when it
That's what
started.
I'm trying to remember exactly. So I was trying to zero it in, and I was trying to figure out if it was a pond party.
I think so.
It might have been a pond party.
Yeah.
I just don't remember. But I was trying to think if it was either that or if it was just hanging out in the basement one night after work. Eric was it might have
It
been
might
that
have been
too,
that
because
too. Yeah,
that's when TJ was there too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because there was a time in that time frame where TJ and I were both living together down in the basement.
Yeah. And so we'd go over there. It was just like, I mean, literally, we'd just sit around and act like jackasses.
Pretty much, yeah.
The whole time, watch TV or movie
Yeah.
or something stupid, and just like, I think we'd drink a little bit as whatever, we'd hang around too. But I did want to ask. So as far as the pond parties, and man, God, like this seems like a lifetime ago. When's the last time you've had like?
Oh man, that's a good question. Actually, people have asked me to, because I'm back staying with my mom right now in the basement. It's funny.
Full circle.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Come
fine.
back,
It's
back.
great.
No, I love it there. I have the studio set up down there and stuff. So, yeah, we boy, I couldn't tell you. It's probably been 20 years at least.
Man, I'm just saying, a reunion.
People have talked about it. They've asked me to like just have this summer. I was trying to do one, but it's just to getting it set up and
It's tough.
that kind of thing.
It's
People
tough.
with their lives and stuff. So
Right.
yeah, but at some point, yeah, I'd like to have a kind of little reunion of, because it's all set up the same way as it hasn't changed.
Never changed. Right?
Yeah, no, it's exactly the same.
Is the pond? Can you swim in it?
I wouldn't.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty murky.
You can swim in it.
Yes.
He wouldn't do it though. Okay.
I'll
okay.
watch you.
Right. So yeah, man, I just so many times. I'll never forget when Swanson, cousin Aaron,
Yeah,
brought like out of nowhere, and we were all pretty lit, and
sure.
I
Yeah.
was high a lot probably there too. But
Oh yeah, summertime was definitely high times.
yeah, a lot of high times. You wouldn't be too shocked if Woody Harrelson showed up out of nowhere out of the woods.
right.
But he busted out. He was the first time any of us, I feel like, saw us. He's like, "You're not gonna believe what I found at Meyer." I think it was Meyer. You remember he busted out that those massive, when they started making those Swiss roll cakes, like the like it was like it was like a pumpkin log or something like that. But it was like basically
but it was like Swiss cake roll.
yeah, and everybody just like he pulls it out, and it's like somebody pulling out like the idol from like Indiana Jones, and everybody just comes running, and we're like, whoa, and everybody's just basically, as we're passing around probably a Beezy, he's passing around like everybody's taking a
bite of his log.
Yeah, his massive log. It's one of my favorite memories just because it was so random and funny. But
Man, oh man, my favorite memory with you out there was, and I can see it clear as day, as we were sitting around the fire. You weren't there yet, or Eric wasn't there yet, and just stoned as hell. And then you guys show up with all the leftover food from McDonald's and bags of food.
I was just gonna bring
We're
that
like,
up. That's so
he's like
funny.
a savior, like, oh, like
I
you
know.
could come from high above with food.
Yeah.
We were starving, just sitting there around the fire, just
Yeah.
not doing anything. But yeah, I remember that so well.
That's awesome. I was actually gonna bring that up.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, we would. So Eric and I would close a lot.
Yeah.
And we would always like, and this is a period, and this went on for years, that we would go to parties or whoever it was, and we would just like the leftovers of all the fried food, typically the chicken, the fish, the nuggets, everything. And sometimes we might accidentally, we did that a little too late, they didn't want the food and drove off, but we would come with like 3 or 4 bags of
easily.
all this.
It was amazing.
Yeah, and everybody was always like, "You guys are like," it was like always like that. Like, you guys are like saving us right now, because we never got to work till like 11:30 midnight.
Yeah, so by then, we were.
Everybody
any
was
food
already
we might have had, or any
right.
Most of the time, we didn't plan ahead to have food. We just would go out there and drink.
No, and like that's where I just and double fisting was literally how you, in a short period of time at that point, were just gonna get. We showed up late, you guys were already crunk, and if we were gonna drink, we were just. I mean, of course, we just drank dirty 30s back then, or at least I did.
Oh
just double fisting. just try to get caught up to get a buzz.
Yep, exactly.
Try to
Catch
get-
up,
yep,
guys.
yep.
Yeah, we've been here for like 6 hours.
Yeah,
or something.
everybody's ready to pass out, and we're like, were we partying or what?
Right,
You know,
exactly.
those guys. But yeah, that's funny. What's the craziest thing that ever happened at a pond party that you can talk about without the
there's a-
FBI showing up?
Without the yeah, I won't go into too many details about some of the stuff that happened. Boy, there's some crazy stuff. There is so Paul Bovan, we just call him Bovan. He was stoned off his ass, I think, and he somehow the cops were like kind of following him out of town, and so he just like parked the car like right in the back of the back of the house to try to hide, and he was like paranoid like the whole freaking night. So that kind of sticks in my mind.
That's pretty funny.
My 21st, I remember somebody like was chopping down a tree for some reason. It just like, I don't know, this is these weird random thoughts I have, or people just like, I took pictures of people just kind of laid out on the passed out on the lawn.
I remember seeing those.
So,
Big, yeah,
there was that was some of the weirder stuff, or just random people showing up
yeah.
like that weren't invited or something. Like there's just
And I feel like when that happened, like everybody just knew on cue just to be like, be weird to him, like
exactly like you're not supposed to be
yeah,
here.
like
kind of
we
thing.
don't like you, like we know who you're associated with, why
Right,
you're here,
yeah.
kind of thing. But no
'Cause
one
it
ever
was-
say leave.
It was very we didn't tell him to leave, but yeah, it was very kind of like a privileged spot to be.
It
there.
was.
You pretty much had to be invited. To
Well, you
be
had to
there.
be part of the crew.
Yeah, exactly.
Or,
so-
or like you said, like be invited through the crew, whatever.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I always call Bovan Raw Dog.
Oh, is that what you call
Yeah,
it? I just call
Raw
him Bovan.
Yeah, or Bovan, yeah.
Because we're both Paul, so
That's true.
yeah. And he called me Panic.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that makes sense at this point as well too. So, so once you and I actually got acquainted after all that, we hung out a little bit. I don't think we did it a lot, but
No,
I know we did it.
remember once. Yeah.
Was it once?
I don't know if it was more than that.
I thought it was more than that. 'cause
My memory is once.
Okay. And then so maybe that's it's been so
It's a
long.
long time,
But I
but
know
we're
for
talking-
sure what we were doing. The activity we were doing was definitely
Clear as day. Yeah.
playing MTV Music Generator 2.
Yes. I don't know where that came. I don't know if you brought that.
I did. Yeah,
Okay,
I
was gonna
did.
say, I did not own that.
Yeah,
game,
yeah, I
I
did. And I definitely have no way of building music. But we just we just got, I don't know if we were even drinking or smoking or what was going on, but I do remember we doing that for hours, just building songs.
Yeah.
And then we were like, we were hungry at some point, and that was the first time. And I think it was still LC Pizza.
Okay.
It was LC's
Oh
Pizza?
yeah. Did we get subs or something? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I had never had a sub from there, and you're like, you've never had it was a
Oh,
very
chicken ranch bacon. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember what sub that I got? You were like, I recommend this sub.
I can't. I think I only ever got a chicken one.
Did
What
you?
did you get?
I got it was the taco
Oh,
sub or
okay.
something like that. I feel like
Maybe yeah. Maybe I had that one.
I don't know. Like
I
it's been
don't
so
know.
long at this
Yeah.
point. I just remember vividly having this taco sub and never having a taco sub before and being like, this is absolutely incredible.
Right,
You
yeah.
know, back when it was LC's, and now it's Fuji's, of course. Now they're in the dinner bell.
Yeah, they're across the street from
No.
where they were before.
I've still not been in that location. It's been a couple years since
It's
I've been
nice.
there.
They have it set up nice in there.
Look at the
I drop
arcades
by
and
every
everything.
so often. Yeah,
Yeah.
they got a little arcade spot. They do ice cream during the summer.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. But yeah, I was trying to think like what initiated that you coming over and just hanging out with
And
like,
doing just
randomly doing the
Yeah.
MTV. It just seems like I can picture it very
Yeah,
well. But
yeah,
it was
me
like,
too.
I don't know if it was before a party or just a random.
Actually, it
hang
might
or
have been as
something.
well too. Honestly.
Yeah, it might have been. I don't know. So yeah,
It's really random. I was just trying to
It
think about
was.
that, but I know, like, just thinking back about all those pool parties and how fun those were, and even showing up late for them. I'm like, that's why that was my mission, was to say and ask. You should think about someday
yeah. I mean,
Doing
for
a pool
nostalgic
party.
purposes, or bringing it back,
trying to
for
get everybody
one
around.
last night, or
That'd be
something. I don't
that
know.
would just be really awesome. Honestly, I haven't seen so many of everybody in so long.
We were all like huge fans of Dazed and Confused, and that was kind of like our Dazed and
It
Confused
really was.
moments.
It was.
were those, yeah.
It really was. I mean, the people were in buck hats, I think, even as well too. Maybe it was me. I don't know.
It could have been,
But
yeah.
easily could have been. But so basement is where we hung out a lot of time. Of course, that's where you a lot TJ were down there as well.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like we ended up hanging out down there as well too. But basements are, the great thing about basements is the stuff you can find in them, sometimes even hidden as
Oh,
well
yeah, for
too.
sure.
What does it mean if I said the name Tickled Pink to you?
Jesus Christ! Oh my goodness. So yeah,
Is it a VHS?
it was a VHS.
Okay.
It was a recording from a particular cable network.
Okay.
One that you'd have to pay for.
Okay.
It was porn, of course. it's still available online. I look it up every so often.
Tickle Pink.
Yeah, it's still out there. It's basically, I think it's early 80s, maybe late 70s. Probably the first porn I ever watched, but yeah, part of my dad's collection that he had hidden down in the basement. So
Not so hidden.
yeah, no, it was not well hidden,
Yeah.
that's for sure. But yeah,
Is that one of your favorites?
I mean, it holds up.
It holds up.
It's got some
holds up.
It's got some decent actors in there. The classics from the early 80s. I don't know their names off the what's her name? Something Ray. There's one that's
Okay.
I was a fan of back in the day. But
Peter North.
no,
was
Peter
in-
North isn't in
no,
there,
Peter-
but there's ones you would recognize.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a little it hasn't aged well in some senses. There is a Girl Scout in it.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, that's a little
yeah,
but,
yeah. We don't
we don't need to
need to do that anymore.
yeah.
No. Okay.
No.
Okay. So some
That's
good old,
back olden days.
the good old vintage. Are you still a fan of the vintage?
No, not like I used to be.
No.
That was, I mean,
Yeah.
that like started me out for, because back in the day, I mean, you lucky bastards that were born with the internet,
Yeah.
porn, you'd have to go find it
Right.
in the woods or like
Right.
have somebody that had a mustache.
Or a secret stash somewhere.
The secret stash somewhere.
Right.
If you knew some guy, we had one guy named Keith. He always looked like 10 years older than our actual age. And down the street, a couple miles from where I live, there was a general store, and they
Yeah.
had like porn magazines in there and stuff. So
Is it the Chapin one?
yeah, the Chapin store, the general store. There.
Oh my God.
It was so weird. It was these two old couple
Yeah.
that owned it, and then you could go buy the nuts and bolts or a little bit
Yeah.
of food. It was like a true general store. It had,
Candy
like,
from the
everything.
20s.
Yeah, like stuff. And then there was these racks of porn. So it's so strange. I think it survived primarily by the alcoholism of that area
Yeah.
more than anything. But
Right. That's probably true. That's
Yeah.
probably true. Well, that's good. I'm glad that we can reminisce a little bit about the old vintage stuff as well too. It's different these days because there's just no hair anywhere. So
yeah, that's true. This is full on bush.
you're talking
days.
it's sideburns all over.
Yeah, yeah.
It's all
landing
sideburn.
strip. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
that's all there is nowadays.
Starts from the belly button. Yeah, whatever. Cool.
Jeez, I can't believe you brought up Tickled Pink. That's funny.
I figured maybe that'd be a blast from the past.
Yeah, it is.
Unless, of course, you've revisited. And sometimes you gotta have those reunions.
yeah, you gotta go back to the classics.
You do.
You know.
See where you came from. So
Exactly.
now you're actually an MSU alum, correct?
I am. Yes.
And fan.
Yes.
And we're two of the rare ones of like that whole crew.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I take that back. Growing up, I was a U of M fan.
Oh okay.
But when I became an adult, I was able to make adult decisions.
Right. Yeah.
and now I'm an MSU fan as well too.
See what kind of horrible fan base the U of M.
That's actually a part of it for me.
Yes.
I'll be very honest with you. That's a very big part of it. They always try to throw the shade back, but it doesn't work when you were pretentious for my entire childhood.
Ever. Yes.
Right. So, but what is it about U of M folk do you feel that makes it feel like they have to wear head to toe in some form of Michigan attire?
I don't know if they're trying to justify that. I don't know what it is. It's like a cult, primarily. And it's like this delusion of greatness that doesn't really exist. You're not Alabama. You're not like these storied. I mean, you're kind of maybe a Notre Dame, that kind of thing. It's a strange to have that delusion of like being so successful, and you had like two championships in the last 40 or 50 years or whatever it's been. So yeah, I don't know why they feel like they have to be in the garb, but that's just the uniform, I guess.
It must be.
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy, and most of them haven't went to U of M either.
So being that you're an actual MSU alum, that's something you can actually say.
Exactly.
Too.
I paid my tuition, and
right.
They took my blood and all that.
Right. How contentious does it get with everybody about some of that rivalry?
It really has died down from like the younger years. It's funny. I became a MSU fan just because my best friend was a U of M fan. Like we were like 8 or something, 7 or
Doug,
8.
right?
Yeah, Doug. And I just always a contrarian, just wanted to be the opposite of what he was. So yeah, that was. And then they, through my college years, and then they started playing well. And
mid 2000s.
Nice. Yeah,
D'Antonio.
Yeah, those were good years. So
very good years. Thanks a lot, Mel Tucker, for ruining it.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. Hopefully, this season's better. It'll probably take a while to get back to where they were, but
we'll see. All I know is that I don't have to walk out of my house dressing head from toe in green and
No, hell no.
white to feel like I'm a fan or something.
No, I went to the school. I maybe have 3 shirts or something
Right,
like
I
that.
got
They're
one.
old as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny too, because like when you say that too, like it's like an outfit. It's like, you know, it's a winning thing. I feel like people feel like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's easy to choose a team that does really. It's like being a Yankees fan.
Yeah.
Or like a Patriots fan at one point.
There's
as well,
no
too.
risk there. You're
Right.
just going. They're gonna more than not win,
Mm-hmm.
and so there's that comfort level, I guess.
Yeah,
so,
if they're winning, I'm a winner, right?
right. Yeah.
Okay.
But for us to like be a Lions fan or be a Spartan fan, like there's some dedication that goes
Yeah,
into
there is.
supporting a team that's not going to necessarily
is.
win.
Mhm.
They're going to give you those. So it's with being a Spartan fan, there's some lows, but the highs are even higher because
Right.
it's like, holy crap, they
had
they
to
beat their
work.
rival and
Yeah.
weren't expected to, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah.
We got to bring Paul Bunyan home.
Yes, absolutely.
That's all that matters.
I think we got a chance. The looks like I like what they're doing with the new coach and the defense coordinator came from Minnesota. It looks like he's pretty good, and we'll see. I guess it's one of those. It's really a rebuild season though with the portal and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We Tucker had a really good season because of the portal,
Right.
You know, so who knows? We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. So, what's your thoughts on Jim Harbaugh? As objective as you can be. You don't have to be. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I mean, he comes off as I don't know. He's what I would expect as a Michigan coach. Like he was the perfect Michigan coach. I'll just leave it at that. Is that
Yeah, that's fair.
He fit in perfectly. So yeah.
And he put his suit on too, which was, you know, all of a sudden the glasses and doing all the
Yeah.
bits and stuff like that too. I will say this one thing about I'm not really a fan. I do have a small level of respect to him for how he was trying to middle finger the NCAA
Yeah.
and the SEC, and great job NCAA for like coming at him when he's going back to the NFL.
Right. He's like, screw you guys.
sweet
Like,
decision.
I'm out.
He knew what he was doing
Yeah.
too, and he was.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was smart. Don't get me. It was calculated, but yeah, I'm not really whatever. I think he was overrated. They won a national championship, great.
Yeah,
but like
I'll give him credit. Yeah, they did.
They choked a lot before they got there as well
Yes.
too, especially on national TV.
With the recruiting classes that they had, they should have been putting up multiple
Right.
championships,
Right.
or at least playing better than they did.
Right.
And yeah, they definitely had some choke seasons.
Yeah. But even I can say that last season they had was
Yeah, I'll give him credit. Yeah, absolutely.
pretty solid season.
I didn't like
so.
seeing it, but
No,
I was
right.
rooting against it. But
Well, I mean, we had to give up the entire season because after Mel Tucker, we were just like, yep, we know we're
yeah, I was done with football.
Yep,
Or college football.
yep.
by then.
I didn't watch. I don't think I watched hardly but 1 or 2 games. So,
Yeah,
anyways,
that's rough.
Yeah, it is rough. So, well, we both came from also small schools. Clearly, you know, we talk about living rurally as well too. And you lived, which was really weird that the more I thought about it, I'm like, you only lived like 10 minutes away from me, and you were like, what, 10 minutes out of Elsie, I think. As
Yeah,
well, too.
7 minutes. I think
Yeah,
we
something
timed
crazy
it.
like
Yeah.
that. What do you feel like it is something that has stuck with you through your adult years that you feel like growing up rurally and having to drive a distance everywhere that's kind of like gives you an edge compared to other people that grew up in a town or a
I
city?
think just not expecting like instantaneous things, like patience, like everything was at least 30 minutes
Yeah.
away. So driving that just became a normal thing. So being patient and like, you know, not expecting things that are gonna be instantaneous. So, and like growing up, like to go to like a fast food place or something, that was like a trip.
That was a treat.
Yeah, it wasn't like a daily thing that you go
No.
to hit fast food up. It was like, yeah, it was a treat, maybe like a couple times a month or something. Otherwise, we would be, you know, buying stuff from the local places and that kind of stuff. So, and I think that too, you kind of appreciate like the small businesses and like just small town kind of. There's some of it that's not great, but there's like that welcomeness for the most part. Like it feels good. Like you know most of the people that you see.
Right.
So I mean, there's that too. So yeah, that maybe is a downside and a good side. So you don't quite get as diverse of experience growing up in a small town like we did.
Right. Yeah, for sure. I think that's a good way of putting it too. And you know, you're for your small town, and of course, you know, which is really unique is like, you know, you got the Dairy Festival every year, which is kind of neat. I mean, it's a festival. They bring in, you know, carny rides, which I don't know if I would ride necessarily, but you know, there's still all kinds of, you know, they used to do basketball. They used to do basketball for that too.
I think they had to cancel it this year just because I don't know. Do kids play basketball anymore?
Yeah, that's
I
a
don't
good
know.
point.
So, but yeah, previous years they've had the 3-on-3 tournament and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Those sort of things as well too, and also of course, just big shout out to Fuji's Pizza there.
Yeah,
owned by
absolutely.
our friend and ran by a friend, which is great, and the food's really fucking good.
It is. Yeah, I just had a BLT pizza last week.
God damn.
So good.
They
Their
do-
garlic cream cheese stuff is
Yes,
just
yeah.
top notch.
Yeah.
It's like I just want to go in there and just buy a bunch of those just to put on other stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, and you hit something there too. I feel like there's still a lot of people out there that have not experienced the BLT pizza,
Yeah.
and I'm telling you right now, it's one of the best
Shit.
pizzas.
It's so good.
Period.
Yeah.
So fucking. I mean, if you even like bacon just a little bit,
Yeah.
this is definitely for you. And it's different because there's like mayo drizzled on it.
Yeah.
But there's no. I don't think there's sauce on it.
No, there's
right?
no tomato sauce. It's basically like bread, cheese, bacon,
Yeah.
and mayo on.
And they
Then they
throw
put the mayo at the end and the tomato and
Yeah,
lettuce.
and it's
so.
and it's so. And
Oh,
I'm a BLT
good.
guy. I love
Yeah.
BLTs. So like a BLT pizza is like. Choice.
Yeah, it's so good. I'm not a huge like pizza sauce fan, so like
Really?
I don't like globs of it on there. I like it like sparingly.
Oh wow,
I'm not a
I'm
huge
way the opposite.
globby guy. So
Yeah.
there's a level where there's too much. So like with the BLT, it's just a total diff. I wouldn't even call it a pizza. It's basically an open face sandwich.
That's
for the most part,
right.
with pizza crust.
Right. And good pizza crust at that
Oh, it's
too.
so good. Yeah.
That's a funny open faced. I like that as well too. So, if you don't like sauce like that, do you like Chicago style pizza?
I do to it. Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, I do. I've had it like Uno's and
Yeah.
that kind of thing. Yeah, I do for some reason. That's like it's like a different thing in a way because like the crust is like buttery, flaky crust, and
so good.
yeah, I don't know if it's like just a regular slice. I don't want like too much sauce on it, but
yeah. See, I like mine to be a soup basically.
okay,
It's
yeah,
insane. I don't know. It's the sauce. It's probably why I still love Caesars as a commercial so much. This like a commercial chain is because
Yeah.
I love their sauce. It's spicy. It's tangy, and I
it
can't
is
get
good.
enough of
Maybe
it.
that's the thing is like how good is the sauce? I
Yeah.
mean, that could make a difference. Maybe
Yeah.
like a Chicago style, like the
Yeah.
sauce is so forward that they
Right.
have to focus on having a good
That's
sauce.
true. That's true.
So-
And they usually do like a marinara type or like the chunky
Yeah.
tomato style, which is
See, that's
like
what-
I like
I
them
like
both,
that,
but
yeah.
like the chunk. I mean, Uno's is Uno's. It's commercial Chicago style, but I actually am a big fan of it. Like Chicago's my favorite style. So like, which is weird because we live in Michigan, we got Detroit, but Detroit's like a close second. Don't
Right.
everybody
Detroit's basically
come
a
at me.
cousin of deep dish,
right, which
basically.
is fine, and they're both great, but I just can't get down on like the typical like. I'm trying to more like the Neapolitan style, the New York style.
Oh, okay.
I just
yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
Like, leave it. The turtles can have it. I don't need it.
right. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
need it.
I'd rather
New
have the.
Yorkers, yeah, they can eat their pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really not into it.
Us thick Midwest boys. We want our thick pizzas.
I will say I went to Italy once and had pizza there, and that was like a totally different experience. It was like the sauce was so tomatoey. Like all the
Yeah.
flavors that were there were like exactly what it was.
Probably
So-
fresh, right?
Yeah, it was like fresh tomato
Yeah.
sauce put on just a basic kind of crust and like cheese, melted on top
Was
of
it like the mozz, like the
yeah,
chunk
the
balls,
drops, yeah,
and
the
like maybe
balls.
some basil or something like that.
Yeah,
as well,
that's all it
too?
was. Very
Yeah.
simple.
See, I
And
like
yeah,
that too, though.
yeah, I do too. So that situation, the sauce was amazing. But yeah, I probably lean more towards the Detroit style. I do like Jets and those kind of
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, I'm not.
Jets
you know.
ranch dressing is like amazing.
Everybody says I'm not a ranch guy,
Oh.
period. But like Jets for me is a stomach ache, so I usually don't touch
Oh yeah, it is. I'll work through it
Oh.
if I have to.
it. Just work through it. No,
the
that's
ranch
fair.
helps.
Yeah,
smooth it
right.
out.
Coats it down, and yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
There's your milk there.
No, they make their own ranch, so it's just like that buttery like Parmesan cheese flavored type ranch, not that sour like you get in
Yeah.
like a bottle. So yeah, So
There's
good.
no ranch tastes the same. It all doesn't taste great to me, but there are different varyings. If I wanted to ever go with a ranch that I do like, it's usually a very peppercorn, like peppery
yeah,
kind of ranch. Then I'm usually kind of zeroing in. But like overall, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
not your thing. Okay,
No. I watching people eat pizza, and it's like to me, it looks in my head, it looks like somebody's taking a like in milk, like a cookie in milk. That's what I equate pizza in
I
ranch
mean,
to
it's
me.
pretty much it. Yeah.
It freaks me out. I don't know.
Little nighttime snack. I got my pizza. and
I
milk.
know. Again, it just freaks me out. So, but yeah, so living rurally here in Michigan, there was not a lot of activities clearly, but
No, that was another thing. Yeah, you had to entertain yourself.
you had to,
Yeah.
and fortunately, there was a barn
yes.
that we could go. Was that your
my
grandpa's?
grandma's. Yeah.
Grandma's
Well,
barn.
yeah, my grandparents. My grandfather died before I was born, so it was pretty much my grandma living there. Yeah.
But it was a crazy barn. Like I'll never forget the first time I went up that ladder,
Yeah, it was
and it was like
precarious. And then yeah, when you get up there, like holy crap,
like this is
up
weird.
here?
Yeah, and it was it 1 or 2 rims?
Just one. It was a half court. So it was a half court basketball court that we basically, Doug, Eric, and I, it was just like nothing but like shit in there on the floor and stuff. And we cleaned all that out, put up walls, and put up a rim. And yeah, it was basically a half court basketball court we had up there. Yeah,
it was nuts because the floor was actually like wasn't awful. It was
it wasn't bad. Yeah,
at all.
It was old wood, but
right. But I mean, it still looked pretty nice for what you had going on there. It just sucked with the ball like. Somebody's got to get the ball.
Over, yeah.
Somebody gotta get the
I think
ball.
we put a net up at some point above the wall.
Fuck that. But how many times did people fall through the floor?
Only once, I think. I think Doug flew like one spot where there was like, because we started on one side, which was a smaller side that we had a half court, and then we're like, the other side's bigger. Let's go clean that out and put that up. Because my cousins built the one side first, and that was already there, so we were like playing on that, and Doug's foot went through the floor. I think he like sprained his ankle or something. But yeah,
poor guy.
Yeah, so there was one time.
Okay.
Other than that,
no actual falling through. Okay.
Yeah. I think there was even a hole there, so we knew to avoid it. But
right, stay away from the hole. Right.
That was just part of the game.
Yeah, exactly. It was one of the hazards. So let me ask this. So speaking of more rural activities, how do you feel about riding 4-wheelers?
I do not. I'd have to say I haven't rode a 4-wheeler since I flew off. So we had a pond. We have a pond. We had a smaller pond that they banked up all the dirt and had a humongous hill above this pond, which we had like a diving board coming out of it and stuff. And it was a cool like sledding hill and stuff. But yeah, I was on a 4-wheeler once and flew off this hill, and then the woods were behind me, and that like knocked out teeth. It is crazy. It only knocked out one tooth. They're like, we don't know how this happened that you only lost one tooth. But later on, I found out it deadened another one, so I ended up having that one removed. So I got like a permanent bridge on the top. So yeah, it was weird. It's like they're like, I don't know how you did this, but yeah, it ended up like messing up another tooth.
all from quad riding.
Yeah, I remember that very well. I remember walking up and my nephew was like coming out and like, "Are you okay?" And I like take my hand away and I'm just like covered in blood. He's like, "Oh God!" And he's like running to the for my mom and stuff.
Right. Oh, it's horrific.
No, I don't think I've been on a quad
since then. Yeah. Why would you at that point?
No, yeah, good. I'm good. I don't need to lose any more teeth.
Right. All right. I actually had a scary incident one time too. Similar. Except I was doing it dumb. It was just turned nighttime. There was just a little bit of light on it coming off, and I was in a place I didn't know very well, and I thought I was heading down the trail and forgot that the bridge to the other field was moved a little bit left. I didn't know where it was at, and I hit the bridge. Wheels were basically half off, and I went flying through the air and landed belly first in this in the ditch, and the quad landed on my leg.
Oh, okay.
And had the water been any higher, I probably would have drowned.
Oh God!
So I had to scream like 100 yards.
Pinned?
I was pinned.
Oh my God! Yeah.
It was pinned. I'm lucky I'm alive. That was one of the first things I can think of in the like recent 20 years that like I shouldn't probably be alive.
Oh, gotcha.
So, but that was really scary. So, yeah, I'm definitely familiar with quad accidents, but yours, I don't know.
Yeah, thankfully it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, I still walked away. Just
it was like a scar on my lip, and I lost tooth. So it wasn't major.
Right.
It wasn't near death or anything.
Scary as shit, though. Scary as shit. So
yeah, for sure.
Well, to talk about streaming,
sure,
and the games content that you do. So, when did the board game craze kind of start with you?
I've been trying to pinpoint that. I think like 2016 range. There was this YouTube channel that Will Wheaton was doing called Tabletop.
Yeah, I recall it. Yeah.
Which I found through this show called Being Human, where this vampire and a werewolf and a ghost live together.
It's called Twilight.
Yeah, basically. But this show is that like sci-fi or something. It was my I love like drama, teen drama, or like that kind of shit.
One Tree Hill, you're a big fan, probably.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, anything that has that kind of stuff. So that one had an interesting dynamic because it had kind of like a sci-fi or horror thing to it. But one guy, I can't remember his name. He was the one that played the vampire, he was in an episode of Tabletop. So I was just looking, I don't know, I was just randomly looking at IMDb and like looking at what else that guy was in. He ended up being like in the first Walking Dead, the guy in the tank, that the zombie that he ends up shooting. But
Okay, I vaguely.
yeah,
I mean, that's so long ago too.
right. I'm a huge fan of this guy. I don't know his name.
right.
But-
Super fan.
So I was looking at his IMDb and it's like Tabletop. I'm like, what is this? So I just pulled it up on YouTube and it's like binged it crazy. So I'm thinking 2016 might be in that range, maybe before that. So
Okay.
so that's what kind of got me into it. And it was kind of like an eye-opening thing of like, because we grew up playing board games, but it was like Monopoly,
It was
of
just the
course,
Risk, maybe,
yeah,
the simple
Hasbro, that kind of you know
Yeah.
mass market stuff. And I didn't know anything about this whole world of hobby gaming, and I think most people don't realize it's like almost like a secret world. It's very
Yeah.
niche, the hobby. So because like I found out like last year like 3,000 games were published. Can you imagine like where are these games? You know
Right.
what? So it's and people that would like blows their mind when they like kind of find out like wow that many games have come out. You know what is it? What are
Right,
they about?
right.
So and it passes like through all genres and IPs and
Yeah.
intellectual properties and that kind of stuff. But yeah, what blew me away is they played a game called Forbidden Island, and it was the first game where the game had AI to it. It basically had a deck that would like dictated when these tiles would flip and like when we were all playing cooperatively. So that was a weird experience. Like we were all playing against the game. So that kind of like made me think, wow, there's all kinds of possibilities of this. So,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and I was looking for something that was like not video games and trying to kind of play with family and you know that kind of stuff. So yeah, that kind of got me down that road of it. So.
Okay. And I do. So I remember like one of the first times in modern times I had saw you again, and this is probably one of the last times I actually saw you in real life.
Right, I think so. Yeah.
Was
Maybe like 10 years ago. I don't know.
I was about 2018, I think, because that's when I
Okay.
ended up at this GameStop over here.
Yep.
And I think it was this GameStop was the first time. I don't know if it was the other one on State Street.
It was on Tiwasi.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was over here. And I remember you coming in, and I feel like either because it was before you were streaming, and I was like, "Oh dang, like what are you up to?" Like kind of thing, like
Right.
just really randomly. And you go, "Oh, I'm buying board games." I'm go, "Oh, cool." And I was just like, "Oh, that's really random," you know, just
Yeah.
whatever. And then, you know, at that point, you know, I was already kind of in some of that board game stuff too, but just to like come across somebody randomly that I've known for a long time, like
Right, yeah.
shopping for board games, like, oh, cool, that's pretty neat. So, but as far as the streaming portion of it,
Yeah.
you know, so you're getting to the board games, you started that, and then, tell a little bit. You're kind of doing that you know, before we started streaming, but like, what kind of got you into this thought process? Like, man, I kind of want to stream. Like, we should stream this or do this.
For sure. So I think 2019, I went to Origins for the first time with somebody that was like a super fanboy of like board game streamers. Like
Yeah.
it was almost embarrassing, like to be next to him while he like fangirl.
Right, one of those things. Right.
Like this is so and so. I'm like it's just a person. But so for me it was like I don't have that sense of like I don't get like fame, you know, that kind of thing,
Yeah.
of that sense of fanboy type stuff. So I'm like, well, shit, I can do this, and I always need like I do better in life if I have a creative outlet.
Right.
Whether it's like it could be stupid shit like crocheting or you know it could be you know anything.
Which you
like
crochet a
crafts.
mean blanket.
Yes,
You do.
Actually, I crocheted all these little like stuffed animals for a while. That was my thing. So yeah, so
We'll dissect that. So,
yeah, for sure. So yeah, it was like I met some streamers at Origins, and I'm like, yeah, you know, and they were kind of throw a game on the table and play it. I'm like, I can like make this more dynamic and like interesting. That's the whole. When I started on YouTube and like, this is okay, and then I discovered Twitch and where you can like have channel points and like people can like activate things on your screen and things like that. And I'm like, wow, I could really do some weird shit like this. So
Yeah.
I'm like, so they like So like most other streamers, like I said, they just play a game on the table and that's, interact with chat. For me, I was like, well, fuck them. I'm gonna make unique overlays for every game. I'm gonna make custom channel rewards. So like if I'm like we played a game of Halloween the board game, I made it so we actually had jump scares for that board game.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, so we had like Michael Myers show up on the screen and stuff like that. So or I had it happen where you could activate that. So yeah, I was like, my mind's always working like different thoughts and creative stuff. So it got me into like doing video editing and like it just opened up a whole world of different stuff like that. So
it does.
and then the social media. I think when I saw you last, I was just starting to do social media, and you guys had a little bit of a presence. So I think I asked you to repost something I put out or something.
Probably.
So I think I was kind of doing it at that point. I kind of tried to build the social media first to kind of get that word out about
good to do that. Yeah,
and then
that's the hard part of the social media.
Yeah, absolutely. Growing that is a challenge, and I don't know. I think I have some systems that's worked over the years where, like I said, I have 1,000 TikTok followers and that kind of stuff. So, but yeah,
the unique stuff. Now, did you start on? Was it Mixer?
I was doing multi-streaming.
Oh, you were multi-streaming.
Yeah,
okay.
so I think I was doing.
I remembered you on Mixer as well.
Yeah, I was on there. I was on
because you got the Embers program.
I might have been before. I was on Mixer. I think I was multi-streaming to YouTube and Mixer, and then when Mixer went down, no, maybe I switched over to Twitch before Mixer went away.
Twitch. So Mixer went down in the late summer of 2020.
Okay.
And then we all had to move to Twitch.
I think I was already.
You might have been
multi-streaming on Twitch at that time.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, got you. I'm just trying to remember all that timeline too, and I do remember you reaching out. But what I remember the most was much like a couple of the folks that are hanging in my circle when it comes to streaming, is that you're streaming unique content. Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah, for sure. That's
I mean, who else does? I don't know anybody else does board game streaming. That's awesome. That's something I would want to watch and see and check out because that's cool.
Right. For sure.
That's unique. So I remember that being specifically like when you started doing that, I'm like, man, that's really cool. That's not something that I normally would actually watch as well too. And you sometimes do video games too.
I was just gonna say I do mix in video gaming because I want to. So there's a challenge of board game streaming where we all have the same audience because obviously pre-built people that like board games are going to look for board game content. So I decided early on I wanted to mix in video gaming and then say, hey, I also do board games if you want to see some of my VODs or see my YouTube or come back and see when I do a stream and try to expand that audience because I feel like the other content creators, especially in the Twitch world, we kind of share a lot of the same people.
We do. You do. Yeah,
so that was my thought. So I do and video game stream, to be honest, is super easy compared to board game streaming.
Yeah.
Because board game, you got the overhead camera, you have to learn rule sets, you have to teach people on the fly, you have to, sometimes if somebody's just bringing a game to teach me, I have to learn it on the fly. So there's a certain muscle that
patient
of learning that real quick. I mean, I've gotten good where I've played enough games where I can recognize, because board games kind of build off each other.
Sure.
There's an evolution to it. So if you've played a certain amount of games, you see mechanics, which is like the rule sets that you have. We call them mechanics in games. You can kind of see it and be able to predict what you have to do in the game.
Right, or at least get a better understanding.
Yeah.
Faster. No, that's never thought of it like that. And I don't play enough or frequently enough, I guess, to be able to catch on like that. But that is pretty cool to get to the point where you can do that as well too.
In the art of teaching games, it's an art.
It's yeah, because you're always gonna have one or two people, or even people like me who I ask probably a little bit more questions just because I'm trying to at the same time also figure out how I'm gonna play.
Right. Yeah.
Because I'm already I'm straight I love games I love chess. I love some of my favorites are Catan and
great game.
Trying to get
you got Ticket to Ride there. Those are two modern classics.
Yeah, fun as hell too. The Game of Thrones board game. When you can get a table like this size filled up and 60 a play, that's the kind of game I like those big fucking in good chance you'll end up with a fist fight, but like
right, yeah, because there's negotiation.
Oh God,
involved
all
and
that stuff. So that's the stuff I really dig
traitors,
into.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Backstabbing, all
Backstabbing,
that,
that's
all
what I
that
meant,
stuff.
yeah.
I mean, because growing up for me, that was Axis and Allies. Like I know
Oh,
everybody likes
okay.
Risk. Risk is like to me like it's the baby version of that. But then you play somebody like Axis and Allies where you're dealing with like either supplies or troops and different things
Yeah.
as well too. So there's a whole other layer with those kind of games. So
And I will say, like, my preference for most games are like, I play the heavy stuff, which are like Euro games that are like primarily from Europe, and they have like zero luck in them. So if you win, it's because you played the best.
Yeah.
There was nothing going against you,
luck
like
drives
dice
me nuts in
rolls.
games.
Yeah, so you probably would like Euro games more so.
I think I do actually. But
Yeah, probably. So for me, I really like condensed down rule sets where it's like I've got into more like card games and stuff that's like, this is like, there's like a two-sided sheet or something of rules. There's not like a whole book of rules. And those are my sweet spot with games where I can like teach people right away. Like I brought this one game and I'll be able to teach in like 5 minutes what we have to do. So yeah, that kind of stuff really, because I've never, it's very rare that I play the same game more than like two times nowadays, because publishers are sending me stuff to review and do playthroughs and stuff. So
that's crazy.
So it's like, okay, I got a stack of them. I gotta learn these ones to get some content out for them, because over the years, just going to conventions and Facebook groups and stuff, I've developed kind of a relationship with some publishers.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And that's not easy to do. I mean, not everybody can do, like, I feel like people can create those like connections, but not everybody has the ability to like continue to expand about that, because you also have to be somebody who can talk to people too.
And that's not my
I was
comfort
gonna say
zone.
you're more of like
I'm an introvert, big time. So this was also a way, like I was in my probably early 40s or something, like I need to like kind of break out of comfort zones. I think comfort zones are not good long term in life. Like it just turns into boredom and monotony and stuff. So I'm like, I'm gonna put myself out there. I think in the early of streaming, I played more a persona. Like I didn't tell anybody what my first name was, that Panik was my name, like my last name. I just kind of like, whereas the persona I was Panik, and that's what I kind of build up and like, and then because when you're streaming, you're kind of trying to elevate yourself a little bit to kind of be entertaining, because ultimately, in streaming or content creation, people are here for you and connecting with you, no matter what the content is.
Right.
They want to like get that feeling of like, oh, I feel comfortable with you, or we share the same kind of sense of humor or mindset. So that was one thing where this helped me kind of get out of that, kind of being introverted. I'm still introverted. There's days I have a Wednesday game group. I'm like, man, I don't want to go play games on Wednesday.
Right.
I don't want to deal with people, but it's like I have to push myself past that hump, because I know when I get there, it's gonna be good. I'm gonna enjoy myself.
Yeah.
So
no, that's solid, and I'll tell you, like that's such a great thing to think and talk about, because it's been for a lot of people, that's kind of the scenario, is like, they might content create, but they're really introverts, but that screen kind of almost gives that like layer of confidence to kind of like get you to grow through that as well too.
You're interacting with complete strangers, but there's still a protected layer that you're in your element, and you can kind of control it a bit.
Right. Yeah. Maybe in your underwear, like I am right now.
Oh, I'm always in my underwear.
Yeah, always.
You can see it. Sometimes I'll have my leg propped up. You'll see a naked leg. Trying to bring in the viewers.
Yeah, I mean,
you
gotta do whatever you gotta
nice
do.
legs.
Yeah, they're very nice legs. I can tell you right now, as I stare along the proofs. Right. What do you think was the hardest thing initially for you to figure out? Trying to do the streaming thing.
That's a good question. What was the hardest thing? I don't know. I have a knack, and used to drive my ex crazy, of like picking up quickly on things. So I'm trying to think, like, the tech side, obviously there's a learning curve to know how to use.
And you're always learning.
Yeah. And that never ends. Things are going to fail. So things are going to have issues. We were talking about that before stream. That's just the life of a streamer, is that sometimes the sound sucks. Like I did last week, I did a stream from the game night, and my microphone battery was dead. So it just picked up from the camera battery instead. And I was like, oh. And so I just basically pulled that VOD, and I'm like, bummer, but we'll scrap it. Yeah,
It happens.
So yeah, probably some patience with learning some of that stuff. That was probably the hardest thing. We talked about it before. Just building a following is just daunting. Like, how do you do it? How do you build a community of people that like what you do, getting the word out? Just that grind of trying to build up social media and that kind of thing. So that's probably the hardest thing for me as far as that side of it. The streaming part, I feel like, when I get the stream going, I'm on stream, I feel perfectly comfortable. And maybe in the beginning, there was some nervousness. Like, even coming here, I was a little nervous because we haven't seen each other in forever.
Right, it's true.
So there's like, what to expect. Am I going to be interesting? Am I going to be like, be able to talk well, or am I going to like get caught up in my head and stuff? So,
and Elliot, you're doing just fine.
Okay, that's good.
Just saying, doing just fine. Just fine. And you do mention community. You've actually kind of grown a small community as well too. I feel like you got some select folks that I feel like I see kind of hanging out in either the streams or the Discord as well too. But for you, what's been the best thing about that?
Oh man, just meeting people from around the world, literally.
Yeah.
Bones John is one of my mods, and he's over in London, England. So just meeting him, he's such a creative mind and unique person. And that popped in here, me and her, she's down in Missouri. So just meeting those different people, Games of Fire. So meeting other content creators that we kind of have a same kind of sense of humor, sensibility kind of thing. That was nice. I would never have met them otherwise. So, and I think COVID kind of contributed to some of that. So yeah, so that is a big thing that kind of from streaming and stuff that created those situations.
That's cool. That's cool. Do you get any of the local folks from like the area around involved? Do they get involved at all? Or?
I'd like to. Oh yeah, I mean, I have like I have my Kickstarter sugar daddy, Dan. Shout out. He's obsessed with kickstarting board games.
That's one of my favorite things about board games is Kickstarter.
Yeah, Kickstarter is pretty good. I'm pretty frugal, so I don't, and I have my sugar daddy. So he's often on my streams as well. He's great because he lives in Elsie, so he just comes in and streams with me sometimes. So local there, I'm starting to build a kind of a following with the board game group I'm in. On Wednesdays, that's starting to grow, where we have at times up to 12 people. So to get that amount of people in this and the Wasso area is hard because it's just not a board gaming land for some reason.
Interesting.
I've been trying to build it from like the beginning.
Yeah, I was gonna say you put in the work. It seems like I've seen you at different shops or doing different things.
Yeah, I used to be. There was a game shop in town I was like the in-house board game teacher. Every Thursday I would be there, kind of like hosting.
Right.
Which was a good deal because they gave me store credit. So like this game was free from my labors of sitting there and playing games.
Oh god, rough life.
It was the worst.
Right, that's great. That's great.
So that, and then there's a coffee shop locally that we were running a game night, and like the whole board gaming night that we do Wednesdays, that was me and Dan basically building up. So
that's cool.
Yeah, so that's the biggest thing with board gaming is you have to have people to play with. There are solo games, but
that's true.
It's not as fun as having people around the table.
No, that's right. But I mean, I think again, you brought up something that I think was important that we were talking about before the stream, like with COVID. Like COVID, for all the bad, there was some good that I feel did come out of that.
Yeah, for sure.
And it was like certain ways that we do things now going forward. Maybe the gaming, maybe playing, D&D even online, or that really kind of kicking people into that, or whatever it might be. There was definitely, I think there's some space there to say, there was some ways that, especially at least once it was done, you were like, man, that sucked being not around people for a while. Let's get together.
And you appreciate it more.
Yeah. You look back at it and say, man, even back then, like I felt like everybody was watching streams, and we were talking about it. Like the farther we get away from it, I feel like the less and less people really. Or there's more content, because that's when the big boom of podcasts really came out, was during COVID.
Yeah, because you're at home and you're like, I might as well just record and talk or do something. I have time. Yeah,
right.
That's kind of probably one of the main reasons I got into streaming too. I was home working from home that whole time, so that kind of jump started a lot of the streaming I did, because I just had the availability to think about it and like be working and then take a break and create like a little clip or something. Yeah, so
smart.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. And speaking of D&D now, do you really get a chance to play D&D, or is that kind of outside? It's more just focused on the board game thing, or
It's been a few years. I was in a dedicated D&D every Wednesday for 2 years campaign
yeah,
that ended, and then yeah, it's kind of dried up. I'm to a point where I kind of got bored of that after a while. I wouldn't mind doing some one shots or maybe like 6 episode shots or something like that. That's probably my sweet spot because my attention, because it feels like you're doing the same thing. You're like, okay, I'm going to run into town. We're going to talk to people. Then I'm going to go out in into the countryside and fight monsters. And so it got kind of repetitive a bit. Not to throw shade at the DMs because they did good about painting the picture and making it interesting. For me, D&D's always been, it was always just Wednesday night improv for me.
Right.
It was because I love
Open
role
mic
play.
night.
Exactly. It's like, how can I make these people laugh so hard that they're crying?
right.
So that was more my D&D experience,
Okay.
is to be the goofy jackass that made all his characters with mental illness issues, so that it would be an interesting what they would do. 'Cause I always played not optimally what the character should do. It was always what they would do as the character. So,
Right. Okay.
So I'd always add a little quirk in there, whether they had ADHD or they were a germaphobe or different stuff like
awesome.
that. Yeah. To mostly troll some of the people I played
Okay,
with.
let's be real. At the end of the day, it's to troll somebody.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
No, I love it. I love it.
But they never complained. So
No.
they haven't invited me back yet to do any more because we still have a D&D group that runs on Wednesdays. I just haven't been in it.
Man.
But
That's great. I love that. That's a good idea. I'm gonna remember that for some of the guys I play D&D with. Troll them,
yeah,
which I pretty much do anyways. I feel like, but either way,
because like the mechanics of it is fun. I like the dice rolling and the different stats and stuff. But my thing is always getting into the character. That's what I love. I just love joking around, and that's why I always connected with Eric, because he always could like kind of get into that mindset of like joking and stuff. So so that's more my thing, is like just being a goofy character and doing crazy things.
Yeah, and I like, for me, it's the role playing as well too. Like the combat's fun, but I'd rather do the role playing because I never shut up anyways. So, but like my problem, I always want to do those sort of things, and then I get into the character role, and then I become like, like I am the key. Yeah. It gets a little bit more character. Like right. And I play a lot of like roguish, like half serious or neutral character. I mean, usually my characters end up having a bit, I suppose, as well too. But I feel like I the more I play the character, the more I'm like becoming the character. So it's harder to like when the game stops, I don't know who I am anymore.
Oh my god,
it's rough. I know.
That's not good.
I actually brought you here to talk me through this.
Okay.
Don't you have a psychology background?
Yes, I do. So dissociative disorder.
So can we talk? No.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's a therapy session after this.
Here we go. What are some things that you would like maybe to add to the stream outside of maybe the board games and the video games? Is there anything that you've thought about? Like, man, I'd kind of like to do this, but I don't know if it's really my realm, or how does this work, or is there something have you thought about?
I've had some crazy ideas.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a few weird ones I've been tossing around. I recently started streaming on game nights. That's because I've created like a mobile streaming setup that's on a boom arm and stuff like that. That's kind of already in my wheelhouse, but it was like, that was fun building that and kind of putting that together. There's a weird one I want to do where I've been watching. So there's this YouTube channel called Red Letter Media, I think it's called.
Familiar.
Yeah, and they watch like old like training videos and like the best of the worst, I think is they're called.
Like from like Wendy's or something like that.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah, I've seen some great stuff.
So I've had this weird idea of like, because I found some of these videos on YouTube or different ones like it. I've thought about having somebody like a co-host or invite. I want to play like an alien character that's like, this is like a post-apocalyptic. This is what he's found, these VHS tapes, and this is like
much like the Secret Stash.
Yeah, exactly. So that was like the these are like the historical documents that he's found, and so I'm like dressed as an alien or something, and then they are like just a visualization of audio, like I've like scanned DNA or something, and I brought this person into like a virtual person that's co-hosting with me, and we watch those videos, and I help, and I kind of act like an alien confused by it, and then they're trying to explain it to me. So I don't know. That's a weird one I've had in my head.
I'm definitely intrigued because it kind of sounds like a little like Mystery Science Theater as well
that
too.
because I used to do when Twitch had watch-alongs.
Yeah.
My daughter Pansy and I would watch just weird horror films and
Like
stuff.
on Prime's because got
On Prime, Prime has like people with a iPhone camera or iPhone and just like make their own movie and throw it up there.
Yes.
Like Lamageddon and
seen it.
Yep, Shark or Santa Jaws.
How about Velocipaster?
Yes, we did that one.
Santa Jaws is great. We reviewed
Santa Jaws we do every year.
You do you?
Yes.
That's part. So we've reviewed a couple of these movies on B&B as well too.
Oh, nice.
And we've had the privilege of a couple of these like directors or a producer pop in stream. You ever seen Benny Loves You or Benny Loves Me?
That sounds yeah.
So the creator was actually in our stream one night when we were talking about this.
That's crazy.
Really random, but and then there's another one too. The couch. The couch.
Oh, the chair is it a recliner? Or something?
Yeah. They call it a couch, but it's a chair.
The couch. Yeah.
And we were like real men, and the guy was like, "Well, it's supposed to be." And we're like, "Oh, sorry, dude, we're trashing your movie."
You're right, yeah.
But no, I digress. That's a great idea. So I mean
that's because Twitch took away the watch along feature, so we still do it. We'll probably do Santa Jaws again this Christmas for in Discord.
In Discord, yeah.
We'll probably do it there. But I still do. So October every year we do 30 nights of horror. Right. So every night we watch a horror movie. I make me and a friend make a calendar up, and so you have like if you want to hop in and watch a movie, so that's an option. But yeah, I want to do something on stream, and I think it's possible because it's not copyrighted. It's all like old VHS stuff. Nobody's going to come back and say, why did you watch this Wendy's, broadcast this Wendy's video or something. I don't think it'll be taken down or anything.
Well, because all those methods have changed.
Yeah, exactly. But they have some weird videos of like these people that think they're martial artists. That, like,
oh, those are the best ones.
Yeah, they're teaching people like the death punches that don't exist.
Right. It's like watching Rex Taekwondo or in was it Napoleon Dynamite?
Oh yeah, kind of like that.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Like, okay, that's a good idea. I think you should explore that.
I just need to get an alien costume. I'm picturing something silvery coat, and then mess with my settings to where my color is like different color or something. I don't know.
Well, I mean, Spirit Halloween's opening up all over. So
that's true. Yeah,
they got some great
time of year.
Just throwing it out there.
I can get my alien garb.
Absolutely. What do you feel like so far has been your funniest stream moment?
Oh my goodness.
Or one that maybe sticks out.
Boy, we've had some doozies because I started for a while doing creating my own dirty versions of games. Mm-hmm. So there's this game called Similo, where you have these grid of characters, and one of them you're trying to eliminate characters until the last one is the last one that's left.
Right.
So I did a porn version of that. So I call it Pornolo.
Yeah.
So I had porn stars that there's this card creation website where you can basically make your own little card games. You can upload the images and make them cards and stuff.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. So me spending quality time with porn star pictures and creating cards that were the different porn stars, and you'd have to eliminate them. So the way the mechanics of the game works is this person is like this person, and so there's one side it's like and not like, and so you're trying to eliminate as you go. But that was pretty funny. We've had some just interesting moments. I have one person that streams that's kind of conservative a little bit and just turning what she says into innuendo and stuff. It can be funny.
That's fun.
Yeah, so a lot of those situations when I was doing we call them Naughty Nights streams.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I might bring those back in the new year maybe if I have some time to create some of those games. I was going to do a 70s version of Pornolo. Maybe throw in some Tickle Pink in there or something.
I'm just saying.
Full circle, yeah.
There you go. Once again, full circle. That's a fantastic idea.
So that's been funny. Yeah, that's the most recent stuff that sticks out.
Okay.
Otherwise, just having people fall asleep on my stream, because I used to do late night Saturday night streams and just caught them snoring and stuff like that. That was funny. Yeah. So just that kind of stuff. You never know what's going to happen on stream.
If you shouted in the mic, would they hear you?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. They wake up.
That's the best way to do it. All right. What about maybe one of your favorite stream moments so far overall?
Oh man, I've done so many streams.
right? It's always hard to zero
It's
that in.
hard to zero in.
Yeah, because you really do pump out the content.
I
mean,
try to
really do.
consistently, at least once a week, sometimes twice a week, depending. Usually it's it's dictated by who I can get to stream with more than anything. Yeah, probably having the studio. So I do a lot of green screen in my stream. So just having I think with my daughter, me and her streaming during like Christmas time. Oh man, let me take it back. I just one popped in my head of a different one. So me and her were doing a movie stream, a watch along, and just somebody randomly, it's around Christmas time, just randomly it says Merry Christmas and just like drops $200. So that was like,
I think I remember that
whoa,
actually.
this is like, where is this coming from? I'm like, so that sticks out in my mind as like the craziest moment.
Yeah,
or getting rated by somebody that had like 40,000 followers or something like that. That's a crazy moment. But in general, just being able to do the studio stuff with I usually have projected on the back wall what the board game we're playing, the cover art that we have. So doing that, her and I did a bunch because I had a bunch of reviews that I needed to do. And she was nice enough. Yeah, she's not a huge board game fan.
All right, so you got to twist her arm a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. But she's never like said no to me. I respect that she's not a huge fan, and I don't ask her to do it. But if I'm in a pinch, she'll jump in and play a game.
Cool.
Most annoying thing about that, she can pick up a board game rules like you wouldn't believe.
Really?
Yes, like instantly. Like of all the people I played with, she's one of the best people that just picks up on the which drives me crazy because I'd love to be able to have her stream more, but yeah.
Man, yeah, no kidding. Jump in and be able to go and help out those reviews like that too.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so occasionally she'll pop in. She streamed with me. Father's Day was really a nice stream. We had 2 games that were just kind of small box games. We did this Kawaii Pets that I brought, and another game from Arcane Wonders. But yeah,
awesome.
That was cool.
Awesome. Okay.
There was a birthday stream too, in which I was raising money for a PC setup, and I had my second studio where I could flip over. And so on my channel, you can make me do fancy dances for a certain amount of channel points. So that day we were doing fancy dances for donations, and so I had like a blue wig, and it's all like hoity-toity like music that's going on.
Damn.
And so I had the people that were playing with me for my birthday that were there. They were doing fancy dances too, so that was fun.
That's a little risque.
Yeah, there is a sexy dance for I think 60,000 channel points. Has not been cashed in yet.
So we're waiting on that one.
We'll see. Yeah,
that might have to go to your inbox though.
Right. Yeah, that might be off stream.
right. That's gonna be a difficult one. That'll be difficult. You did earlier talk about kind of your favorite game genre. Again, reiterate a little bit for me that like what is your favorite style of these?
So like I was saying, I like simple rule sets that I can sit down and learn it in like maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That my favorite board game creator is Emerson Matsuuchi.
Okay.
And that's the interesting thing in this hobby too, because you get to know the designers of these games.
That's wild.
Yeah, and before like you buy a game from like Hasbro or Mattel or whatever, and you'd have no clue who made these games or who. But now they are kind of integrated in the hobby. Like people go to like conventions just to see these people. So,
right.
So Emerson he's the one that did the Halloween the board game. He's done Century Golem, Century Spice Road, but his rule sets are just so clean and just like simple, and it feels like more. It should be less of a game because they're so simple rule sets, but there's a lot of thought that like you have to put into like even with the simple rule sets, there's a lot of decisions, and you're still doing a lot in the game, so that's nice.
Okay,
that's kind of what I gravitated towards. I do like cooperative games too, because I like that communal working together for a problem kind of thing. So
there's a couple of fun ones I think I've played out there as well too, like that. Now, so you've met him?
Yes, I have a couple times. Okay. I used to play on a regular basis. So there's this website called Board Game Arena where there's these board games where you can play where the rule sets are built into it. So and you can like friend people and stuff on there. So I'd friended him and actually was playing like a regular game.
Dang.
Like a couple times a week playing a game with
It's
him.
like the Facebook for board gaming.
Basically, yeah,
That's
it's kind
cool.
of like that. Yeah,
That's kind of cool.
and you can connect, and there's asynchronous play, so you can like take your turn
Yeah.
and then wait, and then they'll take their turn and go back and forth.
Isn't
So you
that
don't have to
something?
be actually playing at the same time. So
Wow, that's pretty cool.
it's a cool website,
That is.
and it blew up during COVID as far as the amount of games that are on there. It's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I can imagine. What how many board games do you think you own? Have you counted recently?
I have not counted. I did a stream last year in which there's this website called Board Game Geek where you can put your collection
Sure.
in there, and it tracks how many games you have and that kind of stuff. You can do stats and stuff in there. I did a stream last year in which I had an account with them, but I wanted a Panic Games account, so I made a Panic Games account and then put all my board games in there. At that time, I think I was like 260 range. I'm pretty sure I'm like over the 300 games
300.
mark at this point.
Jesus.
Yeah, which is strangely enough a smallish collection in this hobby. There's people with like thousands of games.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I'm not a big buyer, so I'm not going to be ever in that.
You're frugal.
Yeah, I'm frugal, so I'm never going to be in that.
You're gonna
range.
buy what you want, what you like, kind of thing.
Well, first I want publishers to send me free copies of games, and then that's what ideally I want. I mean, that's the real
Right.
reason I started content. I just wanted free. No,
yeah, right. Give me all the free stuff.
just give me the
Okay.
free stuff.
What's and this might be a hard question to ask, but
Okay.
do you have a favorite board game?
Yeah, I lean towards. It's probably a couple. It's between two. It's there's this one game called Mansions of Madness, second edition.
Oh, goddamn, yeah. Very
Have you
familiar.
played that one?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's app driven. There's some people in the hobby that are like poo app
Oh,
driven
because
games.
I haven't played the app driven one, but it is.
Oh, you
it's
played
still-
the first edition?
Yeah.
Yeah. The app
Okay.
driven, I totally took over the overhead of like somebody actually running the game. The
Yeah.
app runs the whole thing.
Okay.
So that it just made setup and like all kinds of things.
Because those games have got a lot of. There's a lot of intricacies. I feel like. To some
Yeah,
of those
because
games.
it's like encounters with
Yeah.
different Cthulhu monsters or that kind. There's boatloads of expansions for it.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that one's really high up there. I don't mind there being apps in my games because I like tech and I like how
Yeah.
they integrate it.
Same.
As long as it works, I don't care. So it's between that one and one called Chronicles of Crime, which is like you're solving a mystery or a murder or something, and it's also app driven, and it's all these QR codes. Like there's these character cards with QR codes, and you can interrogate them through the QR scanning process. Yeah, it's
That's
really
pretty
amazing.
gnarly, actually. Yeah.
It's crazy. Like there
Okay.
was this one where there's like this gorilla, or no, it was a chimpanzee was one of the characters that would like witness the murder. And so, yeah, so we had to like scan it and like interrogate it. And basically, he's not going to respond to you, but you can like look for clues. I don't know, maybe he has blood on him or that kind
Right.
of thing. And then there's these different locations like, oh yeah, I saw this person over here, and so you scan that locations have QR
Like a
codes.
crime scene.
Yeah,
or-
and then the crime scene, there's a VR element, so you can it's, if you're using a phone, you can move the phone back and forth and investigate the crime
what?
scene. Yes,
That's
and you're
pretty
describing what you see, and then somebody else is taking notes about all these. And then there's these cards that correspond with like blood or
Yeah.
like a weapon or like different things you might see in the
Yeah.
room, and then you scan those to try to get more clues.
That's pretty neat.
It's amazing. It blows my mind.
Yeah,
it
that's
exists.
where we're at with the tabletop gaming now too.
Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome. You recently were at Gen Con, which made me super jealous. I had a few groups of friends that went. I think I'm finally going next year for the
Okay.
first time in a decade. But talk a little bit about that. How was that for you? What'd you do?
So that was my first experience with Gen Con. I was supposed to go in 2020, but as we know,
Oh, yeah, it didn't
the
happen,
world went crazy for a couple years. So that got canceled. But yeah, this was my first one. I know what I'm gonna do next time.
You always do. You learn every time.
Yep. That first day I walked the entire freaking hall, and that's a mistake. You should like pinpoint areas you want to go. Maybe one day see a quarter of it or a half of it, because my feet were like killing me after that, and that just kind of messed with me. I was on pain meds like the rest of the weekend. But yeah, but it was such so I don't have bad anxiety or social anxiety, but that level of humans put me almost the anxiety
It's a
attack
lot.
level. So that was like everybody cramped in this like hallway waiting for these doors to open to get to this vendor hall because they want the hottest new games. That's basically what Gen Con is. It's not really a gaming con per se. It's more about getting the hot stuff. There are areas that have gaming.
Play test some new shit.
Yeah, you can try out stuff. You can buy the new hot release, that kind of thing. The cons I do enjoy are more gaming cons. I will say that. So I would do Gen Con again. I basically got to go for free. So it was like, I'm not going to say no to this.
Right.
I ended up working for Ravensburger, 2 4-hour shifts, and that covered my badge. And then people I was with worked more, so they paid for our hotel.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I was like, I'd be crazy not to,
exactly.
to go. So
right, exactly.
That comes up again next year, yeah, I would probably go again because but I would do it different. There's this one hotel that has this whole ballroom that's dedicated to gaming. I think I would spend more time there than in the vendor area.
Sure,
is my thought. So
yeah, they've grown. I know it's changed and grown a lot since I think the last time I was there was probably maybe 2012, I guess. So it's been a while. I went for 3 or 4 years straight. Mostly D&D driven, but also play tested a lot of like other tabletop stuff. And I was always buying like the old school. I still have some over there too. The Star Wars original CCG. Oh yeah, that game. You know, because you can sometimes still find like sealed packs out in the wild.
Oh yeah. Because the dead CCG. Yeah,
the old one. So but yeah, I'm hoping to go next year as well too. I want to play some stuff, and the 7 Dungeons guys, they might be able to go and do some run some D&D tables as well, do some one shots. So I'm gonna try and see if I can somehow snake my way into there, because that's what I would love to do, is run a D&D table and just do DM for a couple hours. I think that'd be gnarly if that's possible. We'll see. I'm gonna try and snake my way into it.
There you go,
for sure. But so all this content, everything you've done, you've introversion, you've gone through a lot of stuff, you've been doing it for a few years, you're getting in front of camera, but really it's not the first time you've been in front of a camera with Pimpy G Productions.
This is true, yeah.
Pimpy G Productions here.
God.
Talk a little bit about what Pimpy G Productions is, and tell me also your favorite character to play.
Well, I mean, we were basically Lonely Island before like YouTube existed and stuff. I mean,
fair.
If there was YouTube, when we would have like been huge, we'd have blown up.
Yeah.
But we were doing this. I think it was. Oh man, it must have been like 1999 or in that range.
It was earlier than that. I think
it wasn't like it might have been. It was shortly after I graduated, so it might have been like 97, 98.
Yeah.
I don't know how it came about. Well, I kind of do. So what it was an improv group. It was in my friend's back room, and we just said we were gonna. We just decided one day, hey, because we were hanging out all the time anyway. So we're like, they got an old camcorder. I mean, it was literally like a big over the shoulder camcorder.
Back to that VHS.
Yep. And so Eric and I, we basically came up with the skits and different things, and then we'd present it to Doug and be like, we want to do this, and this. We want to be on the road. And he's like, what if we just pretend this footrest is a car? So he would like rein it way back, because we would be on location and doing all kinds of crazy shit, because we were more like the creative, and he would be like, no, we'll just do it in the room. And right. So we did that for, I don't know, a couple of years. As far as a favorite character, I don't know. I played an Indian guy before, like a shopkeeper. We did a Christmas special. If we had YouTube back then,
I know
it would have been.
I've seen
crazy.
them.
Yeah, I think they were decent.
They were very entertaining, and the fun thing about it was that the whole friend group and like the family, everybody knew about them. And there was times that we watch them. Yeah, there was times we would just sit around and watch them.
Yeah. They hit like parties and stuff.
Yeah,
for people who were watching these things.
Yeah,
it was very like kind of underground SNL kind of thing.
It really was.
We were very influenced by like Cheech and Chong and Half Baked, that kind of stuff, because it definitely had a weed theme. Like, none of us smoked at the time either. That was the funny thing. Right. So there was like kind of a theme in there. Right. So I was Fred Funk, Doug was Bob Weed, and Eric was Pimpy G, because obviously we made the smallest guy the leader of the group. Right. Because that was the funniest thing to do. But it was when we did the Christmas special, that was crazy, because we basically did Eric played like Tiny Tim. What's that? Christmas Carol.
Yeah, the Christmas Carol. I do.
Yeah.
I remember that.
so we just remade the Christmas Carol. Yeah, it was it's really good. I have the equipment, like I have a VHS player, and I want to put those on YouTube.
I was just asking you. I was just about to ask about that.
I have
Can we
tapes.
digitize that stuff?
I need to, because it's in the. I have all the stuff that I need to, like the converter and all that. It's just a matter of sitting down and actually doing it.
Winter's coming.
And then I'm gonna probably put it maybe up on like a private YouTube channel or something, because we use so much hip hop music. We were huge hip hop fans, so it's like Ice Cube and like it's just loaded full of music. It would get like pulled down.
Yeah,
like,
you'd be in trouble real
instantly.
quick. Yeah. Just hand it out to family and friends that want to see it.
Yeah, exactly. Give them the link.
It has been years, so. I think that was what I was trying to get to as well too. Is I think if you can somehow figure out a way to digitize that,
Yes, I
get her out there, that would be cool. Like I said, winter is coming. They're long here in Michigan.
True, I got the time. Yeah,
He'll have the time.
I got some freedom. I will do it. I'll dedicate myself.
Okay.
I promise.
Okay. That's all I needed to hear.
Pimpy G Productions
Pimpy
on
G
YouTube.
Productions. There you go.
Before it deteriorates.
Exactly. That's just it
That'd
too.
be my worry for sure.
My favorite, and I think it's a lot of people's favorite, is the most iconic for me. Was fucking crazy ass cool electric light.
And the crazy thing is, we would make these videos and then we would reference our own videos in our regular
fourth
talk.
wall breaking.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We would like while we're just sitting around talking, it became like almost like our own memes or something. Like we started or become part of our lexicon. Is like I'm going in. Just weird things like that. Electric light.
Electric light. Because I still like, even in my head, or sometimes that'll come up just randomly in thought, or I'll like do or say something because I know I've said it around here, and like nobody
No clue what that is. Yep.
I may even do it myself. My cat's like, what the fuck, man?
That's what Doug will message me occasionally. Like something will pop up, and is that he'll message me like a line from there.
Right, right. And was it his cousin that he played?
Oh,
Keith.
Oh yeah, his cousin. Yes, his cousin
Keith or something.
And Keith, yeah. So the whole story behind that, Keith was he was from like Kentucky, and he was his cousin, and he came back. He was in the military, and he just developed this weird accent where you're talking like this.
Yeah.
So he had like a southern accent, but some kind of military type. Like he was tight-lipped, and so he started playing his own cousin, and we'd put him in different scenarios and stuff. Oh my gosh, we had the cop and his dead partner. Where Doug basically would talk for Eric, like he was the dead partner. He'd use Eric as like a battering ram to like, go through the door and shit like that. Yeah.
Oh my god,
stuff.
That shit's so funny. That's so funny. Love it. Yes. The Games of Fire says they're gonna hold you to it. So I appreciate that.
I'll do a screening on Discord.
Yeah.
We'll have a watch party of Pimpy G Productions.
Pretty awesome. Very excited. All right, so just a few more questions. I'm going to bring it home with some of these randoms, and then we're going to talk about what we're going to do next. So, what is a hobby or fandom that you love that maybe you don't really talk about, maybe people don't know, that just something clearly we found out you like, those drama shows and crocheting.
Yes, I like
creatures,
those things,
but is there something that out there that you're like, people don't really know, but this is something I also really love?
I do watch a lot of like breakdowns of movies, and like I like strange movies, so like esoteric type stuff, so I enjoy that a lot. I watch a lot of YouTube content with that, where they kind of like break down different things or let me know about movies I'd never heard of. I'm a huge horror fan, so finding out new horror that's like unique and that kind of stuff, so that's kind of a big thing for me too.
Kind of speaking of that as well, do you have Shudder? Do you watch Shudder stuff on Shudder at all?
I haven't watched.
Okay, because you pay for Shudder and you're frugal. So
exactly, if I can find it online, I mean,
right? I was gonna say some of us might be a little piratey around here. I'm very familiar with sailing the seas.
Some accidentally click a link. And
well, my fault.
On my TV.
What are we gonna do? It's not my fault.
This.
Exactly. What about as far as like, because we talk about this a lot recently too, because horror is a genre that I've only recently got into in the last few years, partly because of Brent, and Britt is big into it as well too. But like a lot of these films recently, like you got to look at like the Blumhouses, the A24s, these guys. Like, do you feel like the bar for horror films has kind of moved a little bit? Like it's just like, because we keep saying it's like a renaissance right now.
Yeah, for sure. I think, I mean, that's the nice thing about horror. There's multiple genres of it, so
Yeah.
I
Oh, yeah.
appreciate that stuff. But like my favorite movie from last year was Thanksgiving.
Dude, it's so good.
It is, and it's all it is I know what you did last summer.
Yeah.
but with more gore.
Right.
But that concept,
With tongue and dark
works.
humor, tongue in cheek.
Yeah, and it's like, man, holy shit, this is an amazing
Yeah.
movie.
That was
So-
a great film.
So I don't know if I always need the heady stuff, the A24
Okay.
stuff, but I appreciate it.
Sure.
And it's definitely good, and it's definitely elevated to, I guess, more of the critics like
Maybe.
recognize horror as a decent genre.
Maybe a medium take more serious.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
like there could be storytelling in it that's just not like a slasher
Right.
or somebody killing somebody or
Yeah.
that kind of thing. Like there's more going on.
Sure.
With
Yeah.
it's more of a finer art, I guess.
Yeah,
Per
that's
se,
fair.
but and I
Okay.
do appreciate those. But like I said, Thanksgiving, like that one blew me away. Like
I don't think yeah, like just in every like it hits all the campiness, but it's not like overly campy. It's
Yeah.
self-aware, it's dark comedy. Like it was a really good film. And to see like Eli Roth do Borderlands and then it just do shit.
Yeah,
because,
I
but
heard
that's all
that
because the
was-
studio head. That's
Yeah.
that's above him. But like, man, like if you have not seen Thanksgiving yet, like
my
that
goodness.
we don't got a lot of Thanksgiving horror films
we do not
for
yes.
one. So that is one that you need to keep in your wheelhouse as well.
When we watched it recently, maybe a couple months ago, and then we went back and watched. I'm like explaining because we watched it in Discord. I was watching it with somebody. I'm like, you do realize this is from Grindhouse. Like this is one of the trailers that Eli Roth did from Grindhouse. This Thanksgiving trailer.
I think I do remember somebody saying that, but
Yeah.
I don't. I feel like I'm reimagining this
yep.
again too. Yeah.
And that he turned into an entire film. So we went back and watched the trailer of it, and it hit a lot of the same beats, like the woman turkey and all the different
That's
stuff.
fucking-
But even more, a little more ridiculous, a little more gory. But yeah, it was. That movie was surprisingly good. I think I was like homesick or something. Like, oh, I'll watch this, whatever. And like, there's a few scenes, the parade scene that just
Yeah.
blows me away. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
great
Great
stuff.
Great film. Great film.
I will say, Games of Fire that's in there. She became a horror movie convert last October. She was like with me watching like almost every night, and she wasn't a big horror fan. And
Changed
that
it.
Changed her
Yep.
into a horror fan.
Yeah.
So
I feel like that's something that I was mostly just like slasher horror. Like I'm a big Jason fan and things like that nature. But like these again, it's like because I really like. I do appreciate things that are always all the head stuff, but I'm a big like head guy. Like I want
Yeah.
a lot of like exposition and shit like that. So like A24 is really like
yeah,
been a gateway for me to all kinds of stuff.
Midsummer.
Like, dude, that's one
those
of my,
movies are amazing. Yeah,
Midsummer's one of my all-time favorites. So
Ari Aster, all his stuff is like
yeah, oh,
really
yeah.
good. Yeah,
Did you see the Devil? Did Ari Aster do that one or the Devil Midnight with the Devil or whatever?
he didn't do that one, but yeah,
No, yeah,
so
he didn't do that one.
so there's a crazy thing. My daughter and I were like driving home one time, and we're like, she's like, did you hear about this movie called like Late Night with the Devil?
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, I've heard about it like a year ago. I'm waiting for this thing to get out of
Mm-hmm.
the movie, like the competitions or whatever they have. I'm like, yes, I've been wanting to watch this movie. I've heard nothing but good things about
Yeah.
it. So we went to Lansing and watched it in the theater because
Yeah.
we were just so
Awesome.
excited about that, and that was an amazing
That was
experience.
Gnarly film.
Yeah,
Gnarly
awesome film.
Crazy where we're coming from that. So, what about books you read?
That is one thing books do not hold my attention.
Okay.
I'm a huge movie fan, but it's like I've explained to people like they're like, why don't you read? I'm like, I get caught up into what the author is thinking and what they're putting into it, and I don't get into the story for some reason.
Okay.
My mind doesn't click into like
Okay.
words into story. I'm more visual, I think.
Okay. That's fair.
So yeah, I'm not a huge reader.
Really?
Yeah.
And is there a book you've ever read? Like this is still something that I do love, or just really not?
No, it was
never,
like
never.
zero books that really
Man,
caught me.
not even from like so when the Scholastic Book Fair came along, you were like, I'm going to lunch.
Exactly.
I'm going to lunch.
Give me
See
the one
ya.
with pictures.
Yeah. Is a basketball going on somewhere around here? Okay.
It doesn't sound like the best thing. Like, I think people judge if you're not a reader that you might not be the most intelligent person. But
No,
I promise I am.
Yeah,
you know?
I promise. The man's got a degree. I
Yeah,
promise
exactly.
he's very smart. So
But no, it's like my brain doesn't click into that story level
Okay.
for some reason. Yeah, more of a visual.
okay, I
Person
think
story.
that's a fair perspective.
I've thought about getting because I'm a big podcast person. I've thought about getting into audiobooks.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that may be the
That might help.
way in for me. Yeah,
That might help. When you listen to podcasts, you do a normal speed or do it faster?
normal. Because I'm usually at work.
Gotcha.
And I got lots
you
of
got time. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair. I do mine at 1.5, and everybody's like, "Are you nuts?" And I watch YouTube videos like 1.75, 1.5.
Really?
all the time.
Wow, man.
My brain, I can't. My brain doesn't slow down.
Okay.
And so, like, I have found that this helps. So
okay.
everybody always says,
hey, whatever
wild, like,
works. Yeah.
right, exactly, yeah. It is kind of wild to think about, like, because I'm always, because I'm trying to find more people out there. I'm like, do you listen to your stuff faster? They're like, no. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm just out here by myself.
you're
Fine.
just you're the odd
I'm the
one.
weirdo, yeah. What's more relieving waking up? A big old beautiful yawn, or being able to just rip a massive amount of gas out your ass?
Oh my goodness, we're getting deep here, folks.
Always.
Yeah, so deep. Joe ass to sleep. Boy, that's a good one. I'm more of a yawn, I think.
You're more of a yawn?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, nice big. 'Cause I don't always rip ass right
Okay.
first thing in the
I've
morning.
heard differently.
Really?
Yeah, I've heard
Hope you
differently.
talk to.
You'd like to know.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Controversial hot take. What is a hot take that you feel like that you always argue with everybody about, but you will die on that hill?
Oh man, I'm trying to think if I have anything like that. I'd actually have to interact with people to have arguments. To be honest.
That's funny.
Oh man, that's a good question. I don't know if I have a good answer for that one.
Can be anything.
I mean, I'm a bigger Star Trek fan than Star Wars. I guess that's. I mean,
Yeah.
there's those people that I think Star Trek did it better as far as social commentary
Yeah,
and
that
a
sure
little
did.
more. That's
Real-
more of my wheelhouse. So I know
Right.
there's those people that obviously feel opposite of that.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
so I mean that's a pretty common one as far
Yeah.
as
That's fair though. I think it's funny because I am littered with Star Wars around here, and Star Wars seems to be my love. But I actually do love Star Trek, and I do agree. Like overall, as far as a consistent message and product, and if you're a fan of science, like I am as well too. Like when you think about it, like that's the most proper evolution of science fiction in
Yeah.
some sort of way too. And
it's more of a hopeful
Yeah,
future
yeah,
type. I guess
it
Star
is.
Wars the past, but it's more of a sci-fi
Sure.
that's more like utopian and
yeah,
and it comes from a guy that was like in World War II fighter pilot
right.
that wanted I've already seen enough shit. I want to see a future where people get
Yeah.
along and like
Right, yeah, work
and-
for a better cause.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think I'm not one of those people that because of my love for Star Wars will shit on Star Trek. I actually really like Star Trek. I haven't kept up with a lot of the last series, but I feel like once you become an adult, your watch through of Deep Space Nine becomes a way different way of
for
viewing
sure,
it,
yeah.
especially that series.
Absolutely. That's probably one of the where it gets into a lot of themes of
Yeah.
more so than and the other
Mhm.
because that one does show like kind of like a repressed people and that kind
Mhm.
of stuff. So yeah, that one is definitely
Yeah.
a different experience.
Yeah.
I will say Brave New Worlds, the newest one of the newest series. That's really good because it's old. Star Trek.
That's
so
with Pine, right?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
with him. So
Or Pike.
Pike. Yeah, Pike.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
like
that
the
one's
actor,
really
too.
good. Yeah, I've enjoyed that one a lot because I do like the old series, but it's definitely dated.
Yeah, I
It's
still
a
like the
little
OG,
weird.
but
It's
yeah, I know.
campy,
Yeah,
but-
it is. It is.
yeah. So I've enjoyed that one, probably of the newest stuff. There's like Discovery, I really didn't care for.
Yeah, I watched at least one season of that. I really like that. And I watched one season of Picard so far. I really like that.
Yeah, I like the Picard stuff. I know
Yeah.
some people pushed against
Yeah,
it, but
there's definitely
I liked it.
a handful.
Discovery just didn't like they made it look too slick. It looked more like the Star Trek movies, I think, than what the series
That's
should
an interesting.
look like.
That's an interesting perspective. I can see that actually. Now
Yeah.
to say that.
So that kind of I guess I just like the look of like I don't know, of a more traditional.
Yeah, because
thing.
Discovery seems like there's a lot of like bells and whistles and like almost.
lens flare and like
Yeah, a lot. Yeah,
shit
yeah. I
like
can
that's
kinda
very
see that.
cinematic
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Okay, that's good. Okay. Well, last question I got for you here. It's one I always love asking. It's the last question I ever ask about you,
Yeah,
so
okay.
far at least.
Yeah.
Last day on Earth tomorrow, apocalyptic, whatever event's gonna happen, meteor crash down, whatever thing that sounds fun for you. Up to 5 meal items you can choose. What's your last meal and 2 drinks?
Five
meal
meals,
items.
2 drinks.
5 meal items, 2 drinks for your meal, your last meal.
Well, we mentioned the BLT pizza
Okay.
before. I mean, that's definitely on the
One
list.
of them. All right, there we go.
A burger that's been grilled on the grill.
Okay.
Like
Not on the floor, on the grill.
on the grill. No, I mean not some like fast food burger or
Something
something.
made
Just
at
something
home.
made at home on
Okay,
charcoal
okay, it's 2.
in particular.
There you go. Charcoal. That's a big
yes,
piece.
Got to be on. Had to have that smoke.
Yeah.
for sure. What else would I have? There's this, man, my mom makes this. So I try to do low carb. I'm diabetic, so I'm trying to do low sugar, low carb.
Yeah.
So hash brown casserole from Cracker Barrel.
Oh yeah.
So she converted the spaghetti squash into this
nice
spaghetti squash casserole. So it's low carb, like high protein. And that stuff is just amazing.
That sounds
it's
fucking good.
just like pure butter and cheese, and it's amazing. Because squash will take on the flavor of whatever you do. So
squash is great.
So that's 3. I just ate some this morning. That's probably why I mentioned that.
Thinking about it, yeah.
So it's on my mind. I'm a huge breakfast person, so I'd have to have something like that.
Right.
What would I have breakfast wise? Probably where I used to work at a restaurant called BJ's, and they had this Sire's breakfast. It was like hash browns, meat, eggs, and then and a biscuit, and the whole thing was covered with sausage gravy. That was amazing.
Yeah, it's got to be covered with sausage.
Yeah.
If you want a good, yeah. I'm the same one. Got to have that sausage gravy.
That was good stuff. So that's 4. I got to have a dessert of some kind. Man, oh man. Even though I'm diabetic, but it's the last night. I got to splurge.
Yeah. Doesn't matter, right?
It would be. I used to make this New York cheesecake that I baked that would like make my own like strawberry like syrup and stuff and mix with strawberries, and that would be one of them too.
Okay, sweet. Okay, we hit 5. Yeah, you got 2 drinks.
There is this one beer that's my favorite. It's from England. It's Smith something. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's this organic cocoa bean like beer. It's like I don't know how I came across this.
Yeah, I'm listening.
But I'll have to find out what it's called. But
I'm curious now.
Because that one's like my favorite. So it has like it's like the most chocolatey. It's a stout, but it's like so chocolatey, and like they use actual like cocoa beans to like make it and stuff like that.
Let me know what that is. Now I'm curious.
I was thinking I was gonna bring you one actually, but I forgot when I was at work Friday. I was so busy. They have them at Freddy's in Owasso, so I was gonna grab a couple of them. But so that's that drink, and then after that, what would be another drink?
Not pond water.
Not pond water by any means. I'll go just super basic, but like sun tea is like
a good sun tea.
Love like a jug out on the porch.
Yeah.
And that I've been drinking all summer.
There's something different about sun tea. I don't know. I've been told there is a scientific reason why potentially.
UV rays or something. It's like converting.
Right. Like unlocks a flavor. I don't know. Like I've been told that. I don't know if it's real, but like to me in my head it's real because like I'm a tea person. Like,
absolutely. I love tea. I switched completely from coffee to tea a couple months ago.
And I've kind of done that too. Green tea, a lot of green tea nowadays too. But there's something about sun tea. I don't know.
It's an experience, and I'll make it. I'll just like make it all year round. Just kind of have it sit on the counter and brew from there or whatever. Right. It's not quite as good as when it's in the sun, but we always have a jug of tea in the fridge.
Problem is that I drink it so fast. I'm a gulper when I drink.
Oh yeah,
I can't sip.
It's something refreshing about that too.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is.
I don't either. I'm saying I get it.
It's like old school Gatorade.
Right, Gatorade. Old school Gatorade. I know I used to do the like the Lipton mixes. You can buy like the Nestea mixes, and you just take a spoonful, and I'll throw it in like a mug like this.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I just do that too, and I drink my coffee black. I like my tea with bite, so like it's just perfect. Like
I started doing so I'd have like a bottle of water and I'd finish it and then I'd fill it with tea, and then they have these like Crystal Light lemonade and then pour that in there with the tea, so basically it's like a Arnold Palmer. Yeah,
that's it right
the
there.
Trick right there.
Yep. And the best Arnold Palmers you can do is you go to an actual restaurant that actually brews their tea. The lemonade doesn't necessarily matter if they make it or not, but it's the tea is the portion of it. So like if I go to like a Timbers here in town and say, can you do half iced tea or half lemonade, and it's like
good stuff.
Yeah, it's good stuff. The good stuff, Arnold Palmer. So well, awesome. Well, that's all my questions here. So
I made it.
You made it through the gauntlet. I definitely appreciate being able to do that with me as well too, and get you on here and chat about some of this stuff. Hopefully, people learn some things about you. I know I did as well too, so that's always exciting as well too, and maybe get you with a couple of gotchas as well too.
Yeah, sure. As ones I didn't expect. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, I definitely always say my shovel's pretty big, so
right.
But what we're gonna do now, actually, so if you've got some time still to hang in there. We're gonna do a little something different now. I'm gonna put the be right back screen up, and we're just gonna take a couple minutes here and get set up for a little card game, and then we'll come back and do that, and we'll see what we got here. He's gonna demo a little game with me here as well too, kind of showcase how good I am at not learning rules fast enough. So
Perfect.
but stay tuned. We appreciate you for being here this entire time through the conversation, and hey, let's watch a game. That's not the. That's the wrong.
That's
that
where
is
the
the
game
wrong.
will
That's
be.
hey, you like that
There you
spot
go,
though?
yeah,
I'll be
there,
right.
right there.
We'll be right back. All right, I'm gonna make sure that Panic's kind of the center of attention here. If you guys can see, and we got the
Oh, I need to flip things around. Looks like.
overhead here. Let's see, maybe
Or no, it's fine. Okay, yeah, yeah.
you
No,
can
it's
see
fine.
that.
Yeah,
Is
that's
that
good.
okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's good.
Okay. All right. Still always learning process here on Let's Set the Tone, but I'm off. I'm over here. Say, I'm waving at you. Like I said, I want to keep.
There's his hand.
Yep, there's my hand. I want to keep him the center of attention on this one anyway, so this works out perfect. So, all right, we have a game.
Yeah. So what this game is called is Super Kawaii Pets. What we're trying to do is provide these pets with the things that they need to be happy. Essentially.
Awesome.
So on your turn, really simple. You get to pick 2 cards, and then these little symbols at the top of these pet cards. We're trying to make these pets here happy, and this is what they need to be happy. So right now, this kind of sucks. This is all one thing, but it'll cycle through. So this pet wants love. This one needs medical. And this one needs medical and love.
Oh.
So what you're going to be doing, you're going to place the card in front of you. When you can choose to have it keep it in your hand or place it in front of you. When you place the card in front of you, these pets also have these cards symbols at the top left. What those are is, so say I have this pet in front. I've collected this guy. I'm going to put him in front of me. I don't have to make him happy right away. I can get the cards eventually to make him happy. But by placing this card down, it allows me to pick up a green card if there's one out there.
Okay.
So, but when we do have what we need as far as love and health, we'll turn those cards in. We'll have a discard pile, and then we'll flip them over, and he's super happy. Hey, yay!
Oh.
This guy happens to be a rabbit symbol. There's rabbits, cats, dogs, and wild. So there's there's like a clownfish. There's like a zebra. There's like different stuff and they eventually count as wilds for a purpose I'll mention. And the points on the bottom left, so he would be worth 5 points if you got. So on top of that, as you build your little tableau of pets in front of you, there's these homes. So these homes want certain types of pets. So this dog house obviously wants a dog. If you have a dog in front of you that's happy on your turn, you can collect that and put it with the dog. That kind of locks them in. That's their home. That's where they're gonna be. They can't be used for any other locations.
Okay.
And you get a point at the end of the game. This one wants 3 cats. This one wants 2 dogs. So, if you have some of these pets that are wild, they could be any pet of the other 3 pets. We're gonna keep playing until there are 10 cards in front of us, basically that are horizontal. So combination of pets and homes, and then we'll have an equal amount of turns. I'm the first player, so if I end game it with 10, then you would still get a turn.
Okay.
So
Okay, makes sense.
but that's basically it's super simple. So we'll put that there. So on my turn, maybe I'll take this and this, and then I'll place that in front of me. If I had a green food out there, I could collect that, but there aren't any out there. But I will discard this card and make that pet happy. So I'll just put a discard. Well, I can do it right. I can discard over here.
Okay.
And then it fills back up. And you can pick one from the top of the deck. You can also top deck if you want. If there's stuff up. Wait, let me shuffle that a little better because there's like a lot of the same stuff coming out. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't want to be stuck with like all the same things coming out. Let me shuffle a little better. Because yeah, that wouldn't be fun. But yeah, you can top deck. Where you pick the card from the top of the deck to randomly pick something. Still lives a doctor. We're gonna have all the doctors come up. You saw me shuffle that.
We saw it.
Yep. So your turn. You get to, like I said, pick 2 things. So you could pick 2 doctors, a pet and a doctor, those kind of things.
Okay. 2 things. So I could do 2 pets if I wanted.
You could, yeah, you could do 2.
So if I took the 2 pets, but I'd have to still before I can flip them, I have to have the requirements.
You can keep them in your hand, or you can place them in front of you. If you do not make those pets happy at the end of the game, it's negative point.
Oh, okay.
So that also, yeah, that's an important rule.
That is important. I'm gonna go for it though. I'm gonna pick them up.
Okay.
I'm gonna hold on to them then.
So you have them available for
for
next round stuff. All right. Damn, factors.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have 3 rabbits or rodents, basically, is what that class is. I'm just gonna go like this and like this, and this will come out. There, we have some love finally. Grandma's bringing some love.
Shit.
Oh, Grandma. You get to do the same thing. You can pick 2 again. That's basically the rules.
Let's take Grandma and a Doc.
Yep, there you go.
So now, if I were to do, for instance, like this.
Yep.
And then so I can set them down.
So just discard Grandma.
So discard Granny already.
Yeah. And you, by placing that in front of you, even before you do this piece, placing it in front of you, you can choose a rodent from out here if you want to pick one of those up.
So I could. And these are considered rodents.
These ones, any with the little rabbit symbol.
Okay, so I could have took this fella.
You still can. Yeah, you can. And you can place that one down.
So place
it down. This will go into your. Either you can place it down or you can put it in your hand. Either way.
Okay. So I could do that down.
Yep.
Okay. So now because I met the hearts with Grandma in this condition.
Flips. Yep.
Flips.
Now a happy dog.
That is a happy pooch.
And if you want to come get the house, you can lock it in, and you can take the house card.
Right in the same turn.
Yep. As long as you meet the condition, you can take that house.
Wow. Okay.
So another one comes out. Dog bed looks like, or
all right.
I don't know. It must be a cat and rodent bed. So.
And you can only play, can you play as many cards in your hand that you got if you have the things that meet their conditions?
Yeah, you can continue. You can finish up as many
until
as you
don't have anything you can do.
Yep, you can do that.
I don't think I really have anything that I can do. So, okay.
So now that house and that dog are locked together. So you can't use that dog for any other, condition.
Okay.
So.
Okay. What other condition would you be able to do with it?
So there's going to, this has 2 dogs.
Yeah.
So, you technically, if you wanted to hold off getting that house.
Right.
To try to get one more point.
Okay.
You could.
To get 2 dogs in the house.
Yeah, and this one also gives food as well. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So there's that.
Okay. Roger that.
So yeah, even if you meet the condition of the home, you don't necessarily have to take it.
Okay.
If you want to work on something harder.
Bork.
Mm-hmm. All right. I will take this guy and this guy.
Right, yeah. I'm not trying to cheat out here, Happy. We're demoing right now. There's no reason to cheat.
Ways to do. Yeah, right. This is the teach. This is the first play. Yeah.
Now that you mention it, how do I cheat?
All right, I do have I'm gonna put this guy down, which has a food, so I can take a food that's out there.
Does that get a point if you got the food with it?
No, it's just that just helps meet conditions for these.
Oh, for other ones. Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha. And I also do this, and that converts this guy. So I have a cat and a dog out there. And then this comes out. I got more love. Granny and her lovin's.
Got all the lovin's. Okay, let's see here. So, what do I want to do here?
Now, obviously, at the end of the game, we're going to add up all our points, and highest score wins.
Right.
And this one, it was easy to complete, but it didn't have any points to it. But it helps towards those things.
Okay. So now if I take a granny, here, no, let me say. So if I take a granny, and I take this card here, does that heart mean I can grab another granny?
If you play it in front of you, yes.
If I play this in front of me?
If you play that rodent in front of you, yes.
Oh, if you play the rodent in front of you, okay.
Which means you have to complete it, or it's negative points.
Right.
Which isn't bad. You probably get another heart to complete it at some point, or basically that's a good move. Grabbing that, playing in front of you, it gives you a heart. You grab the heart, that would meet the condition to make it happy. Yeah.
But if I only got one heart, I can't play him until.
No, you can play that. You can play pets in front of you at any time, even if you don't have what makes them happy.
Do that and then grab the. Because I haven't grabbed my second card yet, though either. Or should I grab my second card?
No,
right
that was
away
2 cards. You grab this one and this one.
Oh yeah, duh.
Play that one in front of you. That gives you that.
That gives you. So then I can complete that.
Complete makes that one happy. Yep.
Okay. So there's that, and I can still play if I've got things to do. Then.
Yeah, true.
Okay. And this little rabbit. If I had a rodent, I could grab a rodent too. Or no, I can only grab one of the 2.
No, that just tells the bottom right is just what it is.
Okay. Okay.
Because it
See,
could be cat, dog, rodent, or star.
Gotcha. I'm not your daughter, so I don't catch up with that.
No, it's fine. You got it.
Let's see. All
No
right.
problem.
I think that is actually my turn.
That's it. Okay, so
Yeah,
I
that's
will
it.
replenish
Let's
our
replan-
little
okay.
track here. Cards, food, health. Oh, it's not that one. I'll put your Annie up there. All right. All right, so my turn. Oh, goodness. That doesn't really help me. But you can kind of see like this is a basic rules, but there's a lot of deciding and like things that you could do with
It's
it.
the add-on stuff that
Yeah, makes all
like,
the difference.
Like what I just did in that last move, everybody. Just so you know, was a little bit of a strategic move.
Strategery.
Strategery.
Okay, I will take this, this. Wait. I'm gonna play that in front of me, which gives me this first. And
So it doesn't matter what order you do that.
No, yeah, you can do it. Like I said, it just
Cool.
by putting it in front of you, it just locks it in that you have to work on making it happy
Okay.
or
Okay.
lose points.
Gotcha.
Then I got one more card I can pull, and I'm gonna go
So
with
the strategery
this
is
one.
coming in.
Exactly. So yeah, order. So yeah, how you do the little engine that you're doing that could make a difference on maximizing the amount of cards you get through.
Okay.
So I will play that, which there's no cat out there, unfortunately. But I do have the food, the health and the food for that one. So I can make that one happy.
Dang.
All right, so there we go. That's it for me. Got Granny. Now we have a cat, dog, and a dog up top there.
What's the little green card thing there?
So that could be the color behind it. It could be any
Okay.
green card.
Okay, any green card.
Yep.
Ew. Budget that. All right, so definitely want to. Man, what do I want to do? Take this one. I'm gonna grab one of these guys.
Okay.
I'm just gonna keep it simple this round. Go there.
That makes that one happy. Okay.
Make that one happy.
Yeah, that's cool
That's boring enough, he said.
Yeah.
Cool.
Not what I would have done. But...
Clearly.
Yeah. What comes out? But more food. Love and food.
Yep.
Does not help me a whole hell of a lot. So let's see. I will. Oh, I need a cat. Okay, we'll do this, and I'll go ahead and play that one in front. What allows me to pick up the love.
Where is the love?
Where is the love?
Yeah.
And I also get on my second card. I'll pick up a food. Got some health. I got more health.
Son of a bee.
Yep. The old doctor.
Yep. The old doc. All right. I'm going to
None of the wilds have come out yet.
pick up this little feller. And
Alright.
down around so right away, so I get that free dock
Yep.
in my hand. And then I'm going to pick up him for now. And then if I was working on this, would I lay him down now to wait for the get to I can
You just
there-
keep it in your hand till you have what you need
in
to.
the hand? Okay,
Yep.
perfect. Okay, and that'll be my turn.
Okay. All right. Keep. We got a bold move, Cotton.
Yep. We did give one of those out there from half-assed. See, this is something your daughter would probably like.
Yeah. Arcane Wonders, thank you for sending this to me.
Yes, thank you, Arcane Wonders, for allowing me to play this today.
Man, I need more stuff that I don't have. Wow. Oh, okay. That might be where I go with this. So I will cut this, and then I'll put down this. Oh, there's a wild one. We have a clownfish.
Oh man.
This allows me to grab a rodent, so I'll grab this. And then I have the stuff to make that one happy.
Precious.
So we'll do that. I still have one more grab. Oh, actually, I'll have that too. I'll grab this, but I also have, I can put this out. It doesn't give me anything, but I do have the food to complete that.
Totally could save some cards for everybody else in the game playing. Holy shit.
I may have played this a few times.
Yeah. I'm starting to see the
how to like kind of build.
Yeah,
Yeah, and this is a learning game, so I'm not expecting you to.
My last move I would have done much different now, I realized.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at that. You could have picked up the dog, which would have gave you a dog, and yeah, there's a few things.
The green card thing I passed on and shouldn't have.
Yep. All right, so I'm gonna put these guys together. The the rabbit, and we get this bed here, so they're all locked in there for that. So
cool.
New house comes out. It's a chair.
Aw.
Not a house. So like I said, the ones with a star, those can be any of the other animals. The clownfish pretending to be a dog, rabbit, or cat. There's a whole lot of food out there.
Out there.
Out there. Right there.
All right, so I am going to. Can I play a card before I even pull any?
Yeah.
To pull more cards up, Rag?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna do this.
Yep.
That way I can pull the green. I'm gonna pull this one. And then I can play it right away and pull another green, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna pull another dog. And then let's see. Can I theoretically? I don't have the.
Technically, I don't think you've actually pulled any cards of your two pulls
I have
yet.
not.
So you still have two. You could grab two foods if you wanted to.
Right, and I can still play an animal if I wanted to, right?
Yeah.
Can you play as many animals on a turn
You
as you
can
want?
keep playing, yeah, till it's all out. Just know that when there's 10 in front of us,
that's
triggers
your
end game. So if you have a
your end game.
boatload that are not
Right.
happy, yeah, that would be where it'd be a problem.
Okay. So we've got to get him all set, which I don't have the means to right now. So yeah, let me grab some cards here. Probably grab a couple of foods for now.
Mm-hmm. And those don't hurt being in your hand.
Fix him.
Oh, yep.
The bunny.
There you go.
Got the bunny. There's no bunny spot over there for the bunny.
Nope. Cat, dog, cat, and dog.
Dog, cat, dog.
Dog.
Let's see. I think that will probably end my turn for right now. Yeah, that'll end my turn for right now.
Okay, so I'm just gonna count the cards I have in front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 2 more cards out. That's gonna trigger end game. It's a quick game.
It is.
So this is my new go-to of like kind of teaching new people, like a card game or something that's a little more going on with a card game.
Mm-hmm.
So this one I definitely enjoy.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I can see. It is fun. I definitely this is why I like card games a lot though too.
Yeah.
Like with like different things to trigger and building and.
It looks super cute and sweet, but there's definitely stuff.
There's a strategy.
You could hate draft too, which is taking cards that other people might like or might want. So there's that too. I mean, there's a lot going on for a simple card game.
How many people can play? I got a question out there in the audience.
Good question. It plays up to 4.
Up to 4.
All right, so I'm gonna grab. So what I'm gonna do is grab food, and that's gonna make my kitty cat happy.
Kitty cat's happy, everybody.
Yeah, that was my 2 cards. So that gives me a cat and a dog, which gives me this. So we'll just cover those guys up. So yeah, I'm at 1 card. one card away from endgame now.
One animal away from Thanos.
Yep, exactly. And there we go. So even if I do end it, you'll still get a turn.
Good. We got to put another house out.
Oh yeah. Thank
Now
you.
I'm telling you what to do. This is
Hey,
great.
no, keep me honest.
That's-
I get caught up like looking at Chad and stuff.
Right. Okay. So let me show you here.
But yeah, the art in this is really cool. That's another big thing in board gaming nowadays is the artists and art. Artists are well known nowadays, kind of like the designers. So that's what attracts people like these. For this, it matches the theme of very kawaii, cutesy
Right.
pets. All right.
And let's see here. Can still grab one more theoretically.
And I will point out there was a rabbit.
I was
Thing
just
home.
looking at that too. Is that considered your second pull if you grab that though too?
No, that is separate of the.
That's-
That's like just you meet the condition, you get that card.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna definitely do that then.
Yeah.
Because once I saw, apparently I'm breeding rabbits over here. So
Breeding like crazy.
yeah, which is funny because my neighborhood is full of them.
Oh, okay. That's crazy.
It is crazy. All right, so if I want to pull something, do something different, I certainly could. So let's grab you, and then we're going to drop you, and we're going to drop you. Do this, do that, and then as far as a house,
Yeah. I think that also gave you a dog too by playing.
I don't have a dog out. I don't think though. Is there a doggy out?
Yeah, on the stack you can take.
Oh, you can take on the
Yeah,
stack?
you can take those too. Yeah.
Oh, that's good to know now.
Oh, by the way,
Oh, by the way.
this is how I win.
All right, good. That's good to know that. So, and then
Oh, he completed 2 homes on that turn.
is he freebie? Oh no, he's right there.
Yeah.
So do I even bother putting these one of my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? This would be 7, 8, but I have to work towards the conditions. But I should still lay them down. You think?
I mean, you will get another turn. So
If I lay
what are
this
you at?
down
3,
though, I
4,
would get
5,
this.
6, 7, 8, 9. You're at 9, right? Or no, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2. Wait. Oh, yeah, 'cause it's 2 doggies here.
So you
1,
count the
2,
houses
3.
too.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
You do have you've
Oh,
said
I've met conditions.
you've met endgame. Yeah. So
I've
this
met
would
endgame.
this would end it actually.
Okay, so that means I stop.
Right, you can, and that ends it
Okay.
because I don't get another turn because I've already had. I was start first player, so equal.
Oh, so you wouldn't even
number
get
of
another
turns.
turn?
I don't. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I just ended it. Okay.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, you don't want to place anything in front of you unless
Right.
you can meet that condition.
gotcha. I didn't realize the houses counted that as well too.
Yep. Sorry. Yep.
4,
Those
5, 6.
anything
7,
that
8,
was like
9.
horizontal. shape.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep.
There we go. All right. So we're done.
Yep.
So now
now we
it's-
just add up. Anything that's out there that didn't get happy is a negative point.
So I got a negative point here.
Otherwise, you just add up whatever's on the side
6.
of the card. So
This dog has no points.
some of them don't. Some of them you just get to meet the conditions
That's
of the.
bullshit.
But you got a point out of it for the house.
9, 10. Okay.
All right, I had 16 points.
17.
Oh my goodness. I hate when I lose by 1 point. That is the worst.
I had to minus the 1. I had 18.
Yep.
It was that big house there. Did I beat you on the demo?
You did. Hey.
Oh, shooty shoot.
Yeah, exactly. I don't like that one bit.
Shooty
well.
shoot.
No,
Shooty shoot.
I'm not a sore loser when it comes to the game. I appreciate it. As long as you had fun with it, then.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. I think that the problem is when I play a game like this and I want to own it,
Yeah.
and I got to be careful of that.
Nice thing about that is a very cheap price point. It's like under $20.
Yeah.
It's probably like $15.
This
so.
would be a fun one. I think that this is something that Britt would like to play as well too. But because time is something that's big for us, so I feel
Mhm.
like that's the nice thing about these card games. So
Oh yeah, super
awesome.
quick. What was it, like 15, 20 minutes maybe?
Yeah.
With the teach. So yeah,
yeah.
super easy. It doesn't take up a whole lot of real estate. We were able to do
Right.
it on this little area here. So
Yeah.
hey, yeah,
Cool.
that's the nice thing about it.
Awesome. Well, thanks for demoing that. So what I'll do is I'm gonna put the BRB screen back up, and then I'll come over there and we'll close it out, and then we're gonna play some board games after the stream's done.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I'll be right back again, guys. Thanks for hanging out and tuning in. I'm going to get everything turned around. Give me just a couple minutes. All right. So that was fun.
Good.
That was cool.
Good.
That was a good little game. I think that's something that, like I said, that I might consider picking up because I think Brittany would like that as well too. But yeah, I love this kind of card games. I'm a big fan. It feels like it's hard always to get enough people around to play some of the insane big board games.
Right, yeah, that is a challenge. Somebody dedicate 2 hours.
Yeah.
Sometimes I've played Star Trek Ascendancy, and that was like an 11-hour game. So to get that, we did it on New Year's Eve, and that was like daunting.
That's a long, yeah. I know I talked about the Game of Thrones one, the board game earlier, and when if you can get 6 people to play that, you can do it with 4 comfortably, but you're looking at 6 hours maybe at least.
For sure.
Like it's a commitment to play like that. It's a good time, but it's a long time to sit there and play a game too. But no, I appreciate you coming. I appreciate being able to go through the gauntlet with you and then also play a game. So thank you. It's been a pleasure. I know we've been talking about this for years.
Yeah, I was gonna say years in the making.
Yeah, literally.
This message back and forth. I think I've offered you to, when I was at the old house, to come over and play games, and it's recent, not too long ago, maybe 6 months ago or something. Yeah, it's been, but it was even years before that because you talked about doing board game stuff on your channel. So
just did want to dabble a little bit, but it's worked out perfect to have the Panik King.
Panik King, exactly.
Fred Funk.
Get it right.
Stop in. That's right. Yeah.
I didn't bring the crown today.
I
thought that would be a little over the top.
No, I was expecting the crown. I was ready for the crown.
Well,
so
next time if I'm invited back,
yes,
we'll bring the crown.
Absolutely.
I wanted to be more Paul today than Panik, I guess.
That's fair. That's fair. I appreciate it. But thank you everybody. If you've been able to tune in live for this, or if you're checking out in post, make sure, of course, to check out all of his links right now as well too. And like I said, I will have all the links in the YouTube as well. But if you're here right now, or you're able to see it here in the chat, make sure to give him a follow on Twitch as well. That's going to be a big piece of that. And then, of course, the awesome giveaway that he's currently doing too. So, but apparently I don't know how to do my own commands.
So I do that too. Yeah. Like, did I put a space in that?
It's this stupid little
And if you want to come to my channel, there's little fun things you can do. You can talk to my bot if you want to. There's and they'll have interesting responses and all kinds of little
Yeah,
weird shit
you do.
like
That's
that.
right.
So I've over the time I try to put as much as me into the channel as I can.
Well,
So
yeah, you got the PP.
PP points. Yeah, there's my initials. And
Yeah.
yeah, that kind of stuff. So yeah, come around and come and play.
Yeah, awesome.
I do interactive stuff with chat too, so they can play along too a lot of times too.
That's great. That's great. So, you guys want to get your some hands on some certain stuff, or if you're curious about board games, or even if you got questions, that's a good place to start there as well too. Maybe
Shoot me an email.
Yeah.
bpanicgames@gmail.com.
Perfect. So, but this was great. I definitely appreciate it. We're gonna play some games here as well too. For y'all out there listening, there's no B&B this coming week before the Labor Day weekend. We're figuring out what it's gonna look like the week after. And as far as another episode of Let's Set the Tone, I'm gonna try to target something probably in another 2 weeks here as well too, as we're right now just kind of gliding by bi-weekly. But if you got any suggestions or questions you think are fun to ask some guests, maybe I can rotate in something if you got a good question or something out there as well too, or if there's somebody specific that you know ahead of time as well, that would be fun to do. So, but for the Panik Games,
Yes, me.
Fanboy Tone of Banter and Babble, I hope you guys all have a good rest of your weekend, a great week, and an upcoming Labor Day holiday. Hopefully it's safe and fun as well too. So everybody take care. We'll see you soon.
Thumb kiss.